Mate. How good is that? Hello and welcome to the Fan Cams. After the Blues beat the Port Adelaide Power by 6 goals at Adelaide Oval. 10 goals, 11-71. Sorry. Yeah, for 16 goals, 11-107. I've lost my bearings for a minute there. That's unbelievable. That's a great win. We are going to celebrate that one. We might be going until the early hours of the morning, carrying on. Welcome, guys. Good to have you here. If you would like to come in, please come in and share your thoughts on the game. Going to put the link in the chat right now. I've got about 8 spots available now, but we'll be going all night. Would love to hear from as many of you as possible. Share your thoughts on that. It was a good win. Let's go. Hey, mate.
Watching Super Alex. Tell you what, I told you, Terry, in the preview, you can't trust a team that's named after a place where a boat sleeps. Mate,
you just can't.
Hey, fucking boats have kips where Port Adelaide is. Mate, honestly, how fucking good was that? How good was that? I mean, tell you what, last week we praised Voss for his ingenuity to change things, and this week he moves Cripps onto JHF. Carlton score 45 points from clearance, 43. Game over. Game over. It's almost like we're starting to toy with teams now, Terry. Toy,
mate. It was man. They just chipped away. Halftime. I did my halftime post on Instagram. Read through some of the comments, and I was like, I just didn't see it the way I was reading it. I get it. We're a bit emotional. We're a bit sensitive, but I just thought we were battling. It was a good game of footy, and then in the end, pull away. That's a really big win for us.
Mate, live chat proving they're the most intelligent of chats 3/4 time, because we went through the numbers. Like, I don't watch the numbers in game because I can't do it in real time because I might shit myself when I see a pattern. We talked about inside 50s. We were like, if we can clean that up a little bit, get the ball in there quicker, all sides point to a battering. And you know what? Fair play to the boys. The boys, that last term was as good as we can play. We structured up. And you know what? I want to give a shout out to Cripps, because even though Cripps kicked 2 goals and he was phenomenal, underrated role he played, that his job around stoppage and clearance was the role that everyone plays on him. Just stop him getting to the ball.
Yeah.
And he sacrificed his role. And I've never seen Cripps do that before, and I hope to see it again. That was a real cul-de-sac. And I think people forget, when we talk about pace, Cripps ran away from JHF, ran away from Dan Houston, 2 players that people consider damaging. When Cripps gets out the back, he's pretty smart. He's pretty smart when he gets a yard. So phenomenal. And you know what? My boy, Pom Cotter, they all hated him, Terry. They all hated him.
Yeah, some reward for effort for Cincotta, for Cripps as well. It's funny how footy rewards those who play the selfless role.
Mate, and did he take his goal well? Cheeky little right snap. Filthy.
I can't even imagine what you were like when Cincotta kicked that goal.
Honestly, the best way I could describe it is my cock and balls ached. Honestly, I'm going to be totally honest. Absolutely lost my banana. I'm going to be honest. He become a personal project, as old Pom Cotter. It was great to see. I mean, you know why I enjoyed it? Because I thought he did an absolute job, a real job on one of the hardest players that they've got. What a real tough customer. And it was going to be one of them games I feared, because I saw comments last week, even though he towed up his man, people saying 6 touches, shit house, midfielder. Like, just to have some substance to your name is really good. But you know what? Who I want to shout out this week? Do you want to shout out? You know what? People criticise Charlie, and even I had a little bit of I didn't have a rant, but I was like, Charlie, you can get in front of your man. Don't be scared to, kidder. Don't be scared to. playing up deep up the ground. I was telling chat in the live, if I was the coach, I'd punish the midfielders by playing forward on Tuesday in training and get the forwards to kick into you, just so you can see what it's fucking like when it's shit kicking. Charlie's little bullet to Harry. Tell you what, they've got a bit of synergy, haven't they? We're starting to see that continuity. I will say it right once. Of them working together. There's a little bit of synergy going, isn't there?
Yeah. Look, it's not using injuries isn't as an excuse, but look at how we defend when our first choice defenders are there. Just the composure, the connection between them, the cleanliness. I mean, Adam Sard in tight, Newman in tight, McGovern in tight. Look, that is what is that win in the context of what we've seen so far? That's a statement, right?
Well, I mean, everyone was trying to tell this old gypsy about hexes and curses, and I told you in my preview, hexes and curses only work if the victim believes they work. That's the most powerful magic. And there you are. There is no such thing as hoodoo or hexes. Power of the mind. The Blues broke that hoodoo and hex, if there is one, and it's now scattered in 1,000 pieces, being picked up somewhere down Alberton, isn't it? So I think it's massive. And you know what? For 2 weeks in a row, it's been professional. It's been professional. Like, I'm pretty sure no one's going to come on tonight and go, oh, Terry, we don't put away teams. But do the maths. Average a 30-point win throughout the season. Your percentage is going to be pretty healthy towards the end of it. And you're looking in around us, there's not any massive percentages apart from the ones who have played shit teams. So that was professional again. And I have never seen a professional Carlton side. We've always looked vulnerable. That was a team that went in with a plan, and that was play their big boys in the midfield. And then when that fourth quarter came, you saw which team had the legs. That was a tactical masterclass. Like, don't often say this about Vossi. Tactical masterclass. Bravo.
Yeah, that's the other interesting. I mean, both teams off a 5-day break. And what do we kick in the fourth? Was it 8 goals, 1? 8 goals?
Yeah, mate, we did what? Mate, we did 7-1 out of stoppage and clearance, and just one for banter, just to even the scores out, bro.
Wow. Yeah. So, look, it's a Thursday night win. We had one of these this season. You know the weekend's going to be great. We've got a 10-day rest now against the Bombers. Now what, bro?
Oh, yeah, now we get to talk about them shit cunts at fucking Airport Way. I can't wait. Can't wait for that live, because I tell you what, you think the watch-alongs are bad with Collingwood. Tell you what, Essendon fans are a special kind of special, because I think the only things they hate more than Carlton is English people. So it is a furnace in there. You're going to see me at my best. You're going to see me at my best, because the hatred is horrible. It's bad. So I'm looking forward to it. Now, mate, honestly, enjoy this one, because it's professional. It's professional. And you know what? We've come out of that. We look clever. We look smart. And there's still bits to work on. But I do want to give a shout out. Our ratings, if you watched last week, talked about Kemp's role and McGovern's playing high up the ground. We saw that again, and both of them popping up with a goal, Terry. Tell you what, if we actually put some bets on what we talk about in ratings, we might not have to do this. We could retire.
True. Well, ratings will be fun this week. Can't imagine seeing many Reds this week in the ratings.
You never know. It tries to do it. But no, mate, it was a good game. I'm proud of them. And you know what? Big week next week, because we owe them, don't we? Last time, we know what it was like. It was about this time last year that we played them. And there's something there, isn't there? There's a bit of hatred. There's a bit of hatred there. We owe them.
Yeah. I don't like to use the I think hate's a strong word, but I fucking hate Essendon, and
doubles down. Don't like to use hate. Fucking hate them.
Don't like to use it, but hate them. There's two teams that bring something otherworldly out of me, and they are one of them. So 10-day break. We're going to enjoy this one for at least 24 to 48, probably 72 to 96, but we'll enjoy it anyway. And yeah, mate, we'll move on. Also, big turnaround for you after 5 days ago.
Mate, Essendon are my favourite game because I did get a text from an Essendon person. I won't name them, but it is actually one of the funniest things I've ever read. And you know when the Queen died?
Yeah.
He actually sent me a message going, your team is shit and now your Queen's dead. And it was like 4:30 in the morning. And he'll never know how much it made me laugh because I was like, oh, fucking hell, it's a niche insult, isn't it?
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Niche.
Clever.
But now, mate,
amazing.
10-day break. We'll be back for ratings. And how do you fucking like that, eh? Put teams away. There's another one fucking put away. Give me some more. Honestly, give me some more.
I can't let you go unless we end in one particular way. You ready?
Hey! Oh, let's fucking go. Let's fucking kill him.
All right, mate. I'll speak to you soon.
Peace.
What a star. All right.
It doesn't.
Diana.
Hello.
Hello.
Oh my God. I feel like I'm still in shock. Did that just happen? I mean, I would have taken a 1-point win. Hell, I would have taken a draw, but 6 goals to put them away at home like that, that's got to send a statement to the rest of the competition. Amazing.
Yeah, it was. I'm shocked. I honestly, I felt a little bit weird throughout the week. I couldn't really get a read on the game. I think the Adelaide Oval thing was probably on my mind. I don't know if it was for you and for everyone else. And then, lo and behold, the boys, they're not boys, mate. They're men.
It was just such a professional win.
Yeah.
They looked amazing. Like, could just feel, you could just feel it turning in that last quarter. But it was even still, it was like, don't get ahead of yourself. Even after those 2 goals from Cripps, which were amazing, by the way, it was still, I just still had that fear in me. I've just seen, or we've all seen a lot of, let's be honest, shit at that ground. 20-goal losses and just, we're a bit scarred, I think, as a supporter base here. But that was just beyond my wildest dreams, I think.
You're in Adelaide?
Yeah. Yeah.
I need to ask you, because it sounded loud on the TV. The Wolf facade was very loud on the TV.
Yeah.
Was it just like, what was it like there?
It was loud. It was loud. Look, we're a noisy bunch here. And it doesn't go unnoticed. Like a few of my Port supporter mates from work, etc. They're just like, wow, you guys are loud. Yeah. Like we brought the noise tonight. We knew they were going to need it. But just wow. I just can't believe it.
Yeah, it's good, isn't it?
Such a good feeling. And on to the Bombers next week. I came over for the Gold Coast game last week. So I've seen them this week, and I'm flying over for the Essendon game as well. And I can't wait because we owe them. We owe them.
They have had a few games against us where they broke us in half a little bit as a footy club. And hopefully they win this week so they come in full of confidence. We'll see what happens.
Oh, bring it on, Terry. Bring it on. I'm ready.
Diana, you're a star. Thanks for calling in.
No worries. Have a great night.
See ya. Dan. Hello, mate. Told ya.
I'm talking to Terry. They can't see you, darling. It's all good. Just the wife worried about. If you keep talking, they can hear. What a game.
Did you see it blowing out like that in the fourth? Did you see that?
I actually texted, cousins and mates and stuff that we'll kick into the scoring end last quarter, and that's it.
Yep. And
I said, mate, for some reason, there's a hooter on that side. There's glad wrap over the goals, and that was it, mate. It just happened. And when Chincotta kicked that goal, mate.
Yeah.
Oof.
Was that the moment when you thought we definitely won this game?
No, definitely not. This year, I mean, the last couple of years, ever since the Collingwood effect, Collingwood's put this effect on every team where you can come back from anything. Now, what, Geelong was 8 goals down from Port and they still came back and almost won the game. So you can't say you won the game unless it's 5 goals with 5 minutes to go almost. So that was the equation towards the end, which is good. But no, that was just.
I'm not gonna lie. I'm a little shell shocked.
Yeah. My daughter, Miller, she went upstairs to bed twice and then came back down. Went upstairs again to bed and then came back down. And she decided to stay up and she was happy. Happy. Good luck finding
a best on ground for that. There were a few contenders.
Yeah. I mean, Chincotta, what a game. Great game to nullify Butters that well. I mean, far out. I mean, Butters still got a lot of the ball. He's still, God, he's so damaging when he gets that little run and he gets that little release and he releases people and players with his handball. I think he had like 15, 20 handballs or something tonight because he couldn't get away from Chincotta for a kick. Yeah. But even then, he was still damaging when he got it. But, I mean, Walshy, man, he's hurting me lately. He's not, I mean, I know everyone's got a big heart on for him, but at the moment, last month, his disposal's been a bit poor. Like he's just not hitting targets and stuff. So I'm hoping that sort of turns around for him, which I know it can, obviously. But TDK, far out. He's learned from Pitto a bit, I think. He's learned that little block off and then grab the ball out of the ruck and get the clearance himself a lot. I found. Like he did that 5 times tonight.
He's growing. He's growing before our eyes. He's at that point now where he can hold his own for 4 quarters. And I don't know, it looked like he was a bit sore in the end, but then I saw him in the room singing the song. He looked okay.
I saw him on the bench. He was on the bench and he was like saying it's okay. It's just like a knock or something like that, So I'm hoping it's just one of those scenarios.
Yep.
Yeah. But yeah, that was just sick. I mean, oh gosh, how'd you find the whole game? Like, how were you through the whole game?
I felt like it was a good game of footy. I know that there's a bit of frustration because sometimes we can feel like we're the only team that exists in this league. I thought at no point, I mean, we had the lead for the majority of the game. Port, and they're not bad. Like, they're a good team, especially at home.
Exactly.
And then, it was, sometimes you just got to wait for the 4th quarter to finish so you can judge the 4 quarters. And we pulled away, and it was a hard fought win and a great win. I think it was a great win.
Great win. Yeah. I mean, it's good that we've done that 2 weeks in a row now. We kicked away in the last quarter because I just feel like a repeat of 2011, round 18 or whatever it was against the Bombers when Walker took the mark, when it was like sort of game on for the whole half.
Yeah.
And then halfway through the 3rd, we just went bang and we won by 11 goals.
Yeah.
That's all I'm hoping for next week, mate. And that way we can put them, hopefully they lose this week and then they beat them next week and then they're just sitting on the outside, almost outside the 8. And then season's over for them.
See you in 10 days, mate.
Oh my God. No, that was sick. That was sick. I mean, how does that rate with you with against the Brisbane Lions win?
I think that one tonight was probably the most complete performance in terms of the way we played. Brisbane obviously down by so much.
Had they come back,
Yeah, but I thought that tonight was we grinded it out harder for longer and we broke away. So happy with that, mate. It's good for you to call in. Appreciate it.
Mate, happy days. Enjoy the 2 hours sleep you're going to get tonight.
I will. Go Blues.
It's all worth it. All worth it.
All right, mate. Take care.
Vegas. Catch you, mate.
See ya. I've got a few things I missed out on here. Oh, wow. We've got new members. Dynamic Hypnotic, Michael Van Houten, Rocky, Vic Wide Renovations with the $8 says, what a fucking win. All the boys were fucking great. Shout out to Ollie Hollins and Kemp. Both great tonight. Umpiring was fucking horrible. Oh, what about the one they didn't pay to Harry, the mark? Unbelievable. Playboy Costi with the $3. What a win. Cripper Brownlow incoming. Go Blues. Damien gifted 5 Blue Abroad memberships. Mate, that's very kind. Make sure if you are one of those 5 people that received a membership that you thank Damien. If you haven't already. Kate Everett. a member for 42 months. Wow, that's a long time. That's nearly 4 years. 8-4, and it feels like we've just turned up for the season. I almost feel bad for the rest of the comp. Number 17 this year. All City Jimmy Flash, 11-month member. Thank you, mate. All right, where's my man Joel? Here he is. Joel, how are you, mate?
Yeah, I'm feeling pretty good, as you would naturally expect.
It's a solid win.
Correct. Is that a sort of a question, leading question, or?
What did you think of the game tonight, mate? I should have asked. My bad.
It was best win for the year, obviously. As I said last week, I'd be happy we get within a goal or so, and we ended up winning by 6. So going by that logic, you think I'd be jumping up and down, and I was almost doing that. Not quite, because I've got many. Got to keep the lid on it.
Yes. There's a long way to go. But did you see it? How did you watch the game unfolding? Did you see that fourth quarter? Like, did you feel like we were on the cusp of breaking it apart? Or
no. It was a surprise for them to do that, and yeah. I mean, I don't want to. I sort of said this last week about Gold Coast. They didn't. Like, they weren't the Port of the last month, and whether that's due to us, but I think it's a bit of. What I'm trying to say is, like, yeah, Gold Coast, we won last week, and the Gold Coast team didn't show up like they were of the Gold Coast 3 weeks ago. Bear in mind, it is Gold Coast, but then, yeah, like Port just really were like, you know, like, yeah. So it was. Some might say they are due for a loss, but then no. Look, very happy, and I think, look, amazing. TDK is just. Hopefully, look, if he can keep playing like that, we'll. That's the thing which has really changed for me in the last 2 weeks, because don't you? I mean, that's been really evident. Like, he's really good, and it's just taken us to a new level. Like, he's an extra midfielder, and he's just can mark, and he can tackle, he can do anything. And that's been the revelation for me. I mean, his talent's never been questioned, and he played a good final season last year. But then it gets, again, when he can just rise to the occasion with, you know, just being the number one ruck. And so I think that's really good for us going forward. And I'm just so happy with Blake Acres. Like, he just barely puts in a bad game. Like, you know, reliable in front of goal. It's just, yeah, he's just a great player. Like, plays his role week in, week out. Yeah, it's good.
Before the game started, the commentators were saying that they felt like the loser of tonight can't make top 4. Do you think we are in that mix to be a top 4 side?
Look, I don't buy into that. I mean, that's what they paid to do, but I don't want to dismiss. I mean, I'm not kind of trying to look. Yeah, look. No, I'm not buying into that. I mean, look, it's really week by week. I mean,
true.
Yeah, look, it's week by week, and look, hopefully, look, you know, we have a bit of a run on now, and look, it's a big test next week.
Massive. Can we do it?
You know,
can we beat the Bombers next week?
Yeah. Look, I think hopefully Essendon are due for their loss. So no, it's. Which would be great because like, you know, the lid's off with them. I listened to Archie Perkins today, and he's getting carried away on radio and stuff. But it's good to see Essendon kind of playing a little bit better, because we like to have a bit of a hot game with them. So what are your thoughts on the game? Like, other thoughts?
I'm happy. Yeah, I'm happy. I didn't expect that. I'm not going to lie.
No.
I didn't expect that. I was a bit apprehensive going into the game. I think the Adelaide Oval thing was getting to me throughout the week, because I hadn't seen us beat. I know we beat Freo there, and it's more so the Adelaide teams know how to play the ground so well.
Yeah.
As opposed to we can't win in Adelaide. And I just thought we wrestled the game well. I know that there was a bit of frustration in the first half because we weren't capitalizing, but you got to give some credit to the opposition. And then the blow away.
I was kind of expecting you to say, which is good of you, but I mean, you know, I'm happy to say, look, that's the thing about the season, it can just surprise you. But, obviously, I said we were slow a couple of weeks ago, and we lacked, intelligent sort of footballers and all that kind of stuff. But I think I think the last 2 weeks, there has been a bit of a change in the way we play. Clearly, I think would you say, it's just been really, yeah, go.
I was going to say, do you? Yeah. I mean, we spoke about it a few weeks ago. I mean, it's quite funny what happens when Adam Sard, McGovern, Fogarty, these guys are back in the side. And you don't want to blame injuries, but the reality is, you get your best team out in the park, you settle the side a little bit, and you restrict a team to 71. You kick over 100 points. I don't know. It just kind of makes sense when it all clicks.
Well, yeah. Yes. And I guess those those people who believe that would now be saying, well, I was never one to, I was just sort of never one to sort of bank on that and believe that kind of way of thinking, but it's just turning out to be that way, and hopefully we don't get too many more injuries. I mean, but I think without getting too technical, in terms of the way, because I'm just still trying to process it all, really, the way in which I haven't got words to describe the way we have. I know, it is just noticeably different the way we're playing. I think we're playing a lot closer on our man. We just rarely get beaten. We don't give up easy, cheap goals like we were, and whether that's just down to believing in your next man, obviously that familiarity. I think I said that last week. Just knowing who's around you, which buys into your thing about having those extra players that we can just rely on. Yeah, so it's good, and hopefully we can just keep it up. But I'm not getting carried away, because anything can happen. But yeah, it's, what are we now? Around 11, around 12, something
around
like
12
that.
now, so halfway through the year, 8-4.
Yeah.
Is the season alive? Is it all? We're not dead? We're alive?
Yeah. I guess I got a little bit carried away, which is fair.
No, it's fine.
Yeah. When we play like we did, it's just kind of shits me. But
No, look, we've got to back it up. We'll get into next week. Beat the Bombers, hopefully. Go into the bye, freshen up, get a few more boys back. Chera, Motlop, Martin, these types, and then.
Although Williams has been really good, hey? Williams is just. We don't need another small forward.
He's our best small forward of the year. It's in 2 games. He's our best.
But bring Motlop back to see what can happen. And who else is playing the twos that I sort of caught my eye? So we got Lewis Young, sorry. And there's another defender who's playing down there, I think. Oh, Marchbank. So when do we bring Marchbank in? I
don't know.
That's interesting. But I mean, it's interesting how the club sees him. But yeah.
Joel,
all right.
It's going to be a good weekend, mate. We're going to be smiling, happy, and
that lone beer bottle on my shelf there. I'm going to have another one now. So
enjoy, mate. Thanks for calling in.
Mate.
Cheers. Oh, mate, Chris Beach back in the library with the books behind him. This is living right here.
Well, you could say this is where I need to be, mate, every week. So here we are.
It's just, sometimes you got to get the elements and you got to put them back in place, and things aren't the same unless you're sitting right there at times. No,
that's fair enough. I've got a Carlton scarf right here, the other round scarf right here. What more do you want?
Talk to me about that, Nate. How was that for you?
Well, like you, mate, I was shocked with that fourth quarter. I was thinking, right, we're 7 points up, 3/4 time. We need the first. We need the first just to get a bit of momentum on our side. Sooner or later, Cripps gets the first 2 of the quarter, and it just kept snowballing. It just kept coming our way. It just kept coming for us. We were beating them out of the clearances. We were getting it in our forward 50. Their defense had no answers to us in the end. And it was just like you. It was a shock to see. because the power had been on our asses all night. And we were able to just break away in that last quarter.
Yeah. I mean, I had a bit of confidence at 3/4 time. We were in the lead at halftime, marginally. Obviously had the lead at 3/4 time, marginally. My only concern going into that fourth was the 5-day break. How are we going to run out the game? It's funny how narrative can just be completely just squashed. It doesn't matter. Like, I mean, was that one of our better quarters for the year on the road? I think, the Brisbane one was pretty good, but that one there, game in the balance, 3/4 time, you're away. And yeah, I'm a bit stunned, to be honest. It hasn't really sunk in yet.
No, in fact, I think it'll probably sink in for me, when I probably go to bed tonight, mate. But yeah, that was a shock. De Koning did pretty well in the ruck. Williams was fantastic up forward again. Probably took him a little while to get going into it, but he was there. I know we've already mentioned Chincotta, but he limited Butters' impact. Yeah, okay, he might have had a couple of moments where he was able to explode out of the centre, but where was his scoreboard impact? Because I don't think that was there. At least not that I could recall anyway. Because every time he tried to, Chincotta was like, "No, mate, come with me. You're not going anywhere near that." So I was very happy to see that take place, and we've got another one growing before our eyes, mate, which is fantastic to see.
It's good. It's good. I felt, there's so many players that played their role so well. I feel like we get reminded in a game like tonight how important Lockie Fogarty is to that forward structure.
Yes.
Just his tackles stick.
Yeah. Absolutely. And he once his tackles stick, everyone else lifts.
Yeah.
Everyone else lives around him. They go harder. They get the ball. They go forward. Okay, it might come out every now and again. But what are they doing? They are consistently putting in effort to make sure it does not go too far up the other end.
Yeah. I'm happy with that, Beachy. Happy with that. Thursday night win. The weekend's going to be chill. We are going to be chomping at the bit and fresh for the Bombers. How do you feel going into round 13?
Oh, mate. As Max Gorn said to his Chargers before they played us, we owe these you-know-whats. And guess what? We owe them. We owe them after last year. Every year, Terry, as I've said to probably you and a few others, I'm always circling the games against the biggest rivals that we have. Essendon is one.
Yeah.
And we need to get this club beating. We need to get this club a beating that they deserve. Because we cannot allow aside that, as much as I say they are in the top 4 at the moment, but we cannot allow this club that we are playing against next week to get further ahead of themselves.
Well said. Beachy, great to have you here. Thanks for calling in. Go Blues.
Go Blues.
Incredible. SG, member for 34 months. That was a great team win. Bring on the ratings. Absolutely. Bring on the ratings. Sandy Falcone, 13-month member. Impressively and room for improvement. Go Baggers. Connor. Hi, Terry. You, my God. What a great win. Thanks so much, Connor. It was a great win indeed. Smoothie. Statement win. Sandy's chucked a little $15 dono in there. Thank you. Connor, could I join if there's room? Yeah, there's 2 spots available in the room. Otherwise, we've got a full house, but I'm happy to go until as long as we need. Got Shannon here. Shannon, where are you? You're here. Hello.
Hello.
Happy birthday.
Thank you.
Can we get a happy birthday to
birthday?
Shannon in the chat? Can we please let her know that we are wishing her a great day? How good's that?
How good's a win when you're not actually stressed?
Yeah, I know.
I'm so calm. Like, what is this?
They've taken years off us, and then every win puts a couple of years back, and we get some time back that we've had taken away. It's good.
It is good. And I'm like, just watching Vossi's press conference right now, like, we stuck with them.
Yeah.
And like, it's just one of those things, like they said something on the telecast that it's like, our average losing margin at the Adelaide Oval to an Adelaide team is 76 points.
Wow.
So we've turned the tide, clearly. And it's just so good to see the boys actually put a team away.
Yep.
But my only concern was how quickly Port Adelaide got out over the back.
Yeah.
And how quickly they were able to stay with us, I suppose, for those first 3 quarters. Like, the way I think we just pushed too high in some points of the game, and we just let them out the back too easily. But huge credit to Chincotta on Butters tonight. Did an absolute, that's 3 weeks in a row now, 4 weeks in a row, where he's actually done a number on the best midfielder of the opposition. So, Zach Merity's coming for you, mate.
Yeah. Wow. Is that the matchup? Is that what we do? Just
Why not persist with Chincotta taking on that role? It's a Ed Curnow, Andrew Carazzo kind of role, isn't it?
It is, and it's fitting that he's Italian as well.
It actually is. I didn't make that connection. Good job. But no, it was so good to see an even spread. Even like 3 of our defenders kicking goals tonight, and just overall, like, just so good. Like, I'm so calm. Why am I so calm?
Well, it's your birthday. How young are you today?
33. So we're the same age now, Tez.
Wow, we are the same age. Look at us. From the northern suburbs to the fan cams at 33 years old.
What a time to be alive.
It's good. It's good. Well, enjoy that. Enjoy your birthday. Glad we could finally see you enjoy a win on your birthday, and go Blues.
Go the Baggers.
See you, Shan.
See you later.
Tyler, get in here, mate. Get in here.
Beautiful win that is, Terry. Come on. Come on. What a win. We snuffed out the power. I am bloody fucking happy with that. What a win.
Got to be happy with that. That's exactly what we all were asking for last week.
That's all we needed, Terry. That's all we needed. It was a tough game. I'm not going to deny. All the way up to the 3rd quarter, it was a tussle. We just couldn't. We couldn't get a run on, and they just kept on plugging away. You got to give a little bit of credit to them, but that 4th quarter, we kicked 8 goals. 8 goals that quarter. 8 goals that quarter. I don't know where that came from, in all honesty. 8 fucking goals out of nowhere. We put the sword to them. And what I enjoyed about that even more was when we kicked 2 goals and then they would get one back, and then straight away we went and got another one back, and then we got another one back. And if they got another one, well, then we got another 2. That was how good it was. We were always really putting it to them, and we were attacking the game so bloody hard. And that's the blueprint that we need to play to in those stages of the game. For a second, I literally thought when we were 19 points ahead, they kicked a goal, and I went, okay, right, we're 13 points up. Let's see if we get this goal back. Well, then we'll win it. And sure enough, we did it. We fucking did it. We did it. We've broken the hoodoo. We've broken that the stadium curse. This is the first game that we have beaten an Adelaide team in Adelaide.
Wow. It's big.
In a very long time.
It's a mental. I do wonder how much of it plays on the players' minds, but I actually think it probably plays more on our minds as the fans. Yeah, I know for me I've said it earlier in the show, but I know for me going into the week, I just sort of said, You know, like it's tough. It's Adelaide. I had a little bit of that about me. A little. I was, you know what? It was a loser mentality that I had this week. I'm not going to lie. I
I'm
had
not
a
going to lie
loser
about
mentality.
that too, Terry. No, I'm not going to lie about that. I literally thought, like, when I got to last night, when I heard that Rosie was out, I went, and then Rioli was out, I went, yep, we got a chance now. We have a chance. We need to take it. And boy, God, did we take it. But a few highlights. I'll tell you what, Cripper's two run-on goals. That was great. That was really good. Chin Cotter had an amazing game. Charlie also did really well. Harry played up the ground and then he got into the game. Walshy also had a good game. I just want to add 1 point on Walshy. He's just got to take his time a little bit and lower the eyes when he's going into the forward 50. There were a few bad turnovers there, but despite that, had a really good game. I was really, really impressed with Kemp. That was a great game from him. Bloody impressed. Gov also had another great game. But I think, because I mentioned this in the messenger chat, that someone said, Saad had a really good game. And he did, not denying that. But in all honesty, the one player, and even the commentators said this, one of the most underrated players was Nick Newman. Honestly, that was a great game from him. He holds that back. He is the glue, in all honesty, that keeps that back line together. But
just does all the basics right.
That's all you need to do, though. That's all you need to do. And look, as well, I just loved our run and carry. Our run and carry was really good. Was really good in that fourth quarter. It was just working perfectly. Umpiring could be very debatable this week. Again.
I need to watch it again. I don't want to overreact right now.
No, I'm not overreacting, but there were a few calls in there that were
did Harry Mackay not get paid the mark?
I don't know.
I need to watch it again, but
I don't know. And then the free kick where McGovern went down. Umpire goes, "Nah, see, I thought from my point of view, you slipped. He was actually pushed. He was blocked off the ball entirely. So that's well, you're gonna miss it. But the one thing that pissed me off the most was that Walsh holding the ball when he had two players around his bloody neck pinning him.
What's he meant to do?
Yeah, exactly. What is he meant to do? How in the hell is that holding the ball? I don't know, Terry. And they keep on saying throughout the week, the interpretation is if you got one arm free. Where was the arm free? Tell me. How could he even kick the ball? He couldn't. So I don't know. But anyway, I won't go too much into the umpires because trust me, they piss me off. But look,
it's good to fire up.
Look,
and
it was a great win. It was a statement win. And I can tell you now, Terry, we're coming for the Bombers. We are coming for them. We are going to be the side, the quality side that they have been wanting to play. They have only beaten one team in the top 8. One. The rest of them have been gimme games, and they nearly lost a few of them. We are going to take it to them, and I want Carlton to really be ruthless and really destroy them. I really want them to go, we will forget it. We will not forget this game. Because I tell you now, Terry, we are coming. We are coming for the finals. Come on, Blue Boys.
See you in 10 days, Tyler. Be there.
See you in 10 days. I am not missing Essendon, mate. I am not missing Essendon. I will be on 100%. Win or loss, I'm coming.
Good stuff. Thanks, Tyler.
See you, Terry. See
ya. Okay. Jade? Hello? Jade from Italy.
It's me. Can you hear me?
Loud and clear.
Awesome. Yeah. Dun, 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 dun. How good is that?
That was elite. That's what that was. I think it's kicking in
was
now. I
so
think
good.
it's starting to
Yeah.
kick in now.
It was so good. Like, I don't even know where to start. Like, I was confident going into that game. I don't know why. And then I thought to myself, when it was like, goal for goal, and it was really like contest, and it was really there. I was like, I had a feeling they were just playing the game, out, because I mean, what they did in the fourth, like, they just came out and they're like, let's just topple this off. Like, let's just get the job done. Like, that's what it felt like. They were making a statement. They're like, this is ours. And I don't know. I felt like that was the plan all along. I don't know why.
No, it's
But
interesting because the great teams, when they become great, and I don't think we're there yet. It's almost like they know how to time their runs. We've been a team
exactly.
over the last few years. I think 2022, it was just throw your hardest first punch, and we're just holding on. Last year, we obviously didn't start very well, and then we just ran on fumes for the second half of the year. For us to go to that next level, we kind of have to learn how to manage a game, and it
Yep.
felt like that tonight. They managed it until the fourth, and then just turned it on and emptied everything that they had into the fourth.
Yeah, it did. It felt like that. It felt just very classy, professional. It was just, it was, I don't even know where to start. And so many goal kickers, like, that's what you want to see as well.
Yeah,
I think there were 9 goal kickers. So, yeah, just a all-round performance. Like, I don't even know who would get best on ground. Like, it was just so good from everyone.
yeah.
Yeah,
Like, I
I'll be
mean,
interested to see the ratings. Yeah,
I
I'm
am
looking
as
forward to
well.
that.
I mean, I'm going to have to try and pick a player of the game. I feel like it would. Oh, someone's
It's hard.
unlucky. It's tough, honestly. There's so many storylines here. I think Zach Williams as a small forward. When your small forwards kicking 3 goals, big. Thought Nick Newman was probably one of the more consistent players over the 4 quarters. De Koning, mate. How have I not mentioned De Koning yet?
Yeah.
The man. He's literally. I think no, it's just this year in general. He's grown up.
Yeah.
This
You can
is it.
tell. You can tell it's gone to another level, and I think that's a lot of them as well, like Kemp and
Yeah.
like Pom Cotter. When he kicked that goal, I was like, oh my god, oh
Good,
my
isn't
god.
it? It's good.
He deserved that, and all the boys got around him, and it was just such a good moment, because there was a lot and Gov got a goal, it was a few of them that just got it. They deserve that. They deserve that highlight.
So good.
Yeah, it's good.
What happened? You're in Italy. What time is it? Remind everyone.
3:15 p.m.
PM.
afternoon. Yeah.
What happens? Wow. You watched a night game and you get to enjoy the rest of your afternoon. That's great.
Yeah. It's pretty cool. Yeah. I
Are
like
you?
these hour games because they're kind of like not too early. Just good time. But yeah.
What does the rest of the day look like?
Got some work to do. And then it's a bit rainy, so I don't know. Probably stay in.
Watch the replay.
Yeah. Actually, yeah. My partner will want to watch it, so we'll sit down and probably watch it together.
Amazing. Well, thanks so much for calling
Cool.
in. I really appreciate you being here, and go Blues.
Go Blues. We've got to take it to Essendon next week. Oh, that's
non-negotiable.
We're coming.
Yeah.
I love all the fire that's come back in us now after this. We're like, that's it.
Yeah.
Essendon, it's all over. We got to bring it to them for sure. Yeah.
Love it. All right, Jade.
Go
ciao.
Blues. Go Blues. Ciao.
Cal, let's do it.
Hello. Where to start with that? That was. I mean, I was saying to a few people right through about 3/4 time, this is as cardiac Carlton as it gets for 3/4. I think the game high to that point was about 13 points our way. And then all of a sudden, Cripper became Cripper. he took over. Walshy stepped up in the last. Everyone, that last quarter was probably the best quarter comfortably of the season, I reckon.
Yeah. I think when Cripps kicked his second, I sort of said, all right, well, there's something in that. Sometimes things happen in a game that seem to be symbolic. Yeah. Then you started seeing Harry get into the game a little bit more, find a bit more confidence. Yeah. Such a well-rounded. I'm trying to think now. I mean, I even thought Fantasia, I know he was subbed, but I thought he had some nice moments. Nearly kicked a magical goal out of that. It would have been kind of exactly what we all needed to see, and probably for him as well. I really didn't
goal, almost goal. It was going straight through.
Oh my God. It was brilliant. So look, such a well-rounded performance and just happy.
Yeah, it's one of those performances where 23 blokes, I mean, Mott's probably comes back in and maybe Fantasia is the unlucky one, but had there been no returning injuries, you'd be very happy to keep the same 23 next week. Even some of the guys who didn't get a lot of the ball, Cowan didn't get much of it. Just have a look at the numbers here. He was really impressive. I mean, when you're getting goals from Kemp, McGowan, Cincotta, you're doing a lot of things right.
A lot.
You're doing a lot of things right, especially that Brody goal. It was so good to see him get one again.
Yeah. I think I read here in the chat, someone said that they'd watched Michael Voss's presser and he said there were no injuries. So that would assume that TDK is okay. And I think that's also almost more important than winning, is winning with no injuries.
Yes, we find that quite hard to do nowadays. I was going to say, look, at the time he sort of just looked a bit winded. So that's good to hear that he is 100%. We'll be fine. I've seen a few people talking about Cincotta. He goes to Merritt next week and he will have next to no impact. He's been unbelievable playing that lockdown role. It's not a role that you would think he comes close to at the start of the year, at least. Because he was probably borderline 22. You could not drop him for the rest of the year. Could not for that role. He takes their star player out of the game. I don't know what Butters had. So I'm sort of trying. He had 23, but also playing a little bit in Horn Francis, who only had 22.
You can't stop these guys. That's the truth. You're not going to stop Merritt. You're not going to stop Butters. You're not going to stop Hornfront. Like, you're just not. The key is just to make it hard. And we've been saying it the last few weeks with Cincotta in particular. Whoever's playing on him, if you come out of that game and Cincotta's played on you and you say, I beat Cincotta, you must be bloodied and bruised. Like,
I mean, you're spot on. If you come out saying you got on top of Cincotta, who was like, there were so many contests I saw where, especially on Horn Francis, where Cincotta's not even looking at the ball. He's just watching Horn Francis. He's sort of playing basketball defense on him. Like, Horn Francis can't even see the ball. It was so good to see. But yeah, I just keep playing that Cripper goal in my head. I said it before, but that second Cripps goal on the run. Oh, gorgeous.
All week. That's gone on repeat all week.
100%.
Yeah.
100%.
Where are you?
I am home. I've been home for a little bit now. I missed the Swans game because I was jet lagged with it, bejesus. So I sort of was almost falling asleep at 3/4 time. That was a pretty poor game. I was at work for the Gold Coast game. That was one I'd penciled in to try and come back to and go to. But I caught about 5 minutes of that on my break. But I have got a ticket to next week. So that's probably about 300 days between games for me.
Wow.
But cannot wait. Cannot wait.
Love it. Well, mate, we'll see you at the MCG in 10 days.
Of course. Where we will make it 3 straight.
Yes, sir. Good on you, Cal.
Thank you, mate.
See ya. All right. Hey, the Monday Blues, they're here. They're alive. Let's go, baby.
How good was that, bro?
Mate, I saw you pop up on the bottom. I'm like, I think a few weeks ago you said, just wait till Adam Sard's back in the team. Mate, it's just calm back there, man.
That's the perfect way to put it. You hit the nail on the head. We look so calm. We look so relaxed defensively, and in like the most positive way ever.
Yeah.
Really good win tonight, man. Like,
How were you throughout the week going, like in the lead up? Where was your head?
after the Gold Coast game, I wasn't convinced. I didn't like going into the game. I was flat from the Essendon, from the Sydney one. I wasn't convinced after the Gold Coast game. It was a good win. I was not convinced. But as the week progressed, I'm not too worried when we play Port. Not taking anything away from Port. I just think we both play a very similar style, kind of. So like, I didn't think they would like do anything that would stifle us, and I think Port play a pretty proactive game, which is good for us. Like that falls into our wheelhouse. So I was all right going in. I actually tipped us to win, I think by 28. I was quite confident, to be honest.
Take it.
But I wasn't expecting what I saw in that last. And I love how during the whole game, every time Port came, we'd hit back. I thought a few of the misses in the third, I thought might come back to hurt us. But man, Cripper in the last, that's our captain, man.
I was thinking similar in the third. I think we kicked 5 behinds. I think Harry, a little toe poke that didn't go through. It was just, I think there were 5 of them in a row. And I thought, oh, then Port's going to go on their run. It's about, because I felt like based off how the first half was playing out, it was just a game of runs. They probably didn't take their opportunities before halftime. I thought they were on top of us a bit. And then, yeah, I mean, it's so funny. You make a narrative up in your head about how you think a game's going, and then, like 8-1 in the fourth, you blow it open, and mate, that's what do you say?
Where does that quarter rank for you in the Voss era? I know it's fresh, so like, but I think that was that was one of our best all-round quarters.
Yeah,
because even for the previous 3 quarters, Port were getting loose. They were finding ways to get loose, and it was very frustrating because we work so hard, and then they get loose. But we locked down really well in that last quarter. But we also we kicked 8 goals. You know what I mean? And don't forget, they got a fluky goal, like Finlayson, that goal from the bit. You got copped that. You copped that one.
Yeah.
But we didn't give him anything. I mean, that Marshall one as well, like that was just, I think it was Boyd who overcommitted at half forward, and we were just playing catch up. But we didn't look like losing that. We just, in that last quarter, we just never looked like losing it, no matter how bad the commentators wanted us to lose it.
You feel it. You hear it in their voice. You hear it in their tone. Yeah. Got Paul Sebastiani in the waiting room here. We've got to put some sort of a commission down. We've got to get some more Blues commentary going, mate.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. Loved it, bro. Loved it.
So good. Essendon next week?
Easy money.
Really?
Easy money, bro.
Really?
We did that off a 5-day turnaround.
Yep.
We're going to have just over a week. TDK, I was a bit worried of TDK at the end. I think it was winded. I'm not sure. But, bro, bring it on. Bring it on. This is our last crack, and then when they get a week off. So I think they'll give it everything. And I think last year's game might still burn in their minds a bit.
They play with a little bit of that, don't they? Like, I know that we can sometimes be hot and cold with how much we believe in them. They believe in themselves internally. Yeah.
Tonight showed it. Tonight showed that they got faith in Voss's system. That system was being questioned for a few weeks there. From the fans, from the media.
Yeah.
But tonight it showed that we will grind teams out. We'll grind you out of the game. You can keep up with us for 2 or 3 quarters, but if we play like this for 4 quarters, there's nobody in the league. There is no one in the league that can beat us. And I say this every week. At our best, no one beats us.
Yeah.
So it's just hard to maintain that.
Don't know. I think there was a bit. Yeah. I mean, 75 tackles as well. That's been a little down. Not as vicious. It hadn't been as vicious the last few weeks. So I thought that was pleasing to get that back.
Walsh had 4 tackles in the last quarter, I think, 4 or 5 tackles in the last quarter. Walsh was an absolute beast in that last quarter.
13 for the game, mate. That's crazy.
Yeah, that's massive. That's a midfielder.
Yeah.
Also, I just want to say, how good is it having Fogg back?
Yes, you feel it. Our forward half game, locking it in the forward half. He's so important to that because he doesn't break tackles. You very rarely you seeing him break a tackle. I mean, he had 3 for the game. I've got to go watch it again, but I feel like all 3 of them were very impactful.
Exactly. He has a way. Even when he doesn't tackle, he chases. He puts pressure. And that's what we were lacking. That's just exactly what we were lacking. And it's so nice to have it back. And I think, like you said, you feel it. The boys probably feel it out there too. So,
very good, mate. Well, good vibes. And rest up because 10 days we're going again on a war.
We are, bro. See you in 10 days.
See you, bro.
See you, brother.
Amazing. All right. Who else is in here? All good. All right, Paul Sebastiani's in the house.
Hey. Good evening, mate.
We've pressed blue. We need some Carlton. Mate, we need to get you in the commentary box. Enough's enough.
That was tough to listen to, wasn't it?
It's fucking terrible to listen to.
It was tough to listen to.
It's gross, mate. It's gross.
Yeah, it was very, very difficult to listen to. That's why you've got SEN Sync, mate, or you've got the Blue Abroad Watch Along with Pommy, mate. You can choose one or the other. You can choose one. I'm actually going to start off with something very controversial, and I think you're going to smile with this. It's two. Is it 2 words? Yeah, it's 2 words and it's 2 names. Andrew Russell, strength conditioning. I went there. 5 days.
Wow.
5 days. 5-day break. 5-day break. Rightio. A few people come back. We run out the game very, very strongly. And we looked on top of the ground tonight, didn't we?
Yeah.
If you're going to come for him when we lose and you're going to come for him when we have a few niggles here and there, then you've got to dip the lid off a 5-day break, and a performance like that was very, very very strong. Very, very strong. Very impressive. Very impressive.
Did you see it unfolding as in where, at what point for you did you start thinking, oh my God, we're actually really pulling away here?
So during the game, it felt like we were grappling. It felt like we were grappling. It was just 2 teams grappling. When you've got, it's not a championship match, but when you've got the build up to like a wrestling championship match and 2 combatants are going head to head for a heavyweight title shot, and they start like there's no real winner at the start. They just start grappling each other. One might throw them into the rope, you get a clothesline in, and then the other one gets a clothesline in, and there was no real advantage going one way or the other. But Port were actually getting on top of stoppages, and we were getting on top of the turnover game. So it was, you go your way, Port, we'll go our way. But I was a little bit concerned that Port kept getting it to the open side. And that was my only little bit of a worry. And we're just starting to get out of stoppage a little bit too easily. And I thought, well, that's it. That's an area of our game that we can easily rectify and switch, because that's our area. That's our core principle, the contest and pressure at the coalface. And once it started, so in that, I think it was in that, there was a passage of play where we had 4 stoppages in a row. We were kicking to the right-hand side. It was the third term. We had 4 stoppages in a row, and we had the ball in our front half initially with the first stoppage inside forward 50. Port got a little scroungy clearance stoppage outside forward 50. Then they got another stoppage, scroungy clearance, and then they got out the back and were able to set the ball up in their front half. And I think Horn Francis kicked the goal on the run in the third term, which kind of just sort of leveled it back up, and we got it back straight away with Williams. But those moments here, I'm like, guys, you gotta lock that ball in your front half from stoppage and start winning the ball at the stoppage. And then when we flicked that switch in the final term, and Walsh and Cripps went to work around stoppage, and big shout out to De Koning as well, who wore Ivan Soldo into the ground. Once we started getting on top of the clearance game, mate, we're unstoppable. Radigalia and Alira are not going to stop Charlie Curnow and Harry Mackay, and eventually weight of numbers worked in our favour. And I'll tell you what, geez, Patrick Cripps, my goodness, what a last quarter he had. Wowee, my good. And the finishing, elite, mate, just elite. And even Walshy too, like to half time, I go, geez, he's just going through a bit of a plague going inside forward 50. Like it was phenomenal all night. Like his work rate's just ridiculous. It's just ridiculous. And he just wills himself and wills himself and wills himself. And then eventually the damn wall busted for him. And you look at his defensive numbers, 13 tackles. It's enormous, mate. It's enormous. And but that's just the basics of football, isn't it? You get all those things right. And Zach Williams, this move up forward just continues to reap benefits. And I think, last week was our best performance of the year from start to finish, right? Where Gold Coast, they had that sniff at halftime, but you felt that we were in control for the majority of the match. And that game just felt to me that it was the flick of the switch moment on the season where I looked at it and I thought, yeah, geez, that's a strong performance. I know it was against Gold Coast, but they're not as inferior as they have been in the last couple of seasons. And I was just confident that we had flicked the switch and put in a really, really good performance. And I wasn't too worried about the margin last week. That didn't faze me. It was more the performance and how we went about it last week. And to bring that into this week off a 5-day break and run away with the game. I mean, we smashed them in the end.
Yeah.
We're absolutely
we did. I mean, and you can't, I don't know if you can make too many excuses. Both teams on the 5-day break. So you can't really talk too much about that. To be fair, Port, they were in the contest.
Yeah. No, we're a better team, mate. That is the simple fact of the matter, is that Carlton Football Club is just at the moment a better team than Port Adelaide. I would have thought. I know the ladder doesn't suggest that at the moment, but we've been through a brutal stretch.
Yes.
But that's what you want to face, mate. That is what you want to face. And this is what we were crying out for last season during this patch. Get through it. Pinch your wins where you need to. Get the bodies back. Continue to perform. Set yourself up for the back end of the season. And now we have the momentum to continue to build. Just keep building. Chip it away. 1 week at a time, and away we go. And, geez, I tell you what, mate, defensively, geez, that back 6 and 7 just stand up tall, don't they? My goodness, mate. Yeah, they just fly for everything. And, yeah, they were super impressive tonight, the back 6 and back 7. Against some pretty good forwards as well.
I thought on either end, I know it was a team performance, but two guys who haven't been in the side who are just so clean in traffic. On the one side, in the forward half, you got Fogarty, who's clean at ground level. Yeah. He's clean when he's tackling. And then Sard on the other end. They're just clean. They don't fumble. Yeah. They're one-touch players, and it makes such a difference because it creates so much more time, and it creates time for the next player who gets the ball. And then, and there was you complain about injuries, and I know you don't want to make it an excuse. And I actually think, to be fair to us, we haven't used them as excuses, but the reality is it impacts your team.
No, it does. Well, Michael Voss said it a couple of weeks ago after the Geelong game, I think, when he announced that Marchbank Martin and Motlop were all going to be back at a certain point in the season. And he said, talent makes your system work better. That's just, and we were saying too, you can't just rely on ABC coming back into the team to get the output of X, Y, Z, right? Because if you have that mindset, it's fraught with danger, right? But there's also a point with which you can't deny the obvious, and you can't deny reality. There was a mark that Fogarty took at half back in the last quarter where he had someone right up his ginger, and I think it was a kick off the ground, and he just held the ball. He just took the mark, and he was strong in the contest. And have you noticed that he bobs up in these little moments where there's 4 or 5 players around the ball, and he just bobs up in the middle of them. And he's fishing a handball out, or he's scrounging a little kick to gain territory. And he's such an important player to us. And you can't underestimate that little bit of pressure and that possession that he gains at half forward to be able to help us out and gain further territory up the ground, and then be able to set up the front half as well. Spectacular performance by our boys. I thought we played the game really well, because Port were really, really trying to run and gun, and we weren't overawed by the scenario. And I thought we actually played them really, really smart, because they had their opportunities, right? But if you had played it the way, we were always going to have our chance. We were always going to get our chance, and eventually we did. And yeah, that last quarter, I mean, for people who were arguing and saying that we don't have that killer punch, I mean, you saw it last week when we needed to bring it out, and you saw it tonight that we brutalized them in that last quarter. And you know that we had some moments, and we have now seen the return of the tag in the form of Alex Chincotta, and it's funny actually. he actually made a little guest appearance on the Jumper Punch on Tuesday via FaceTime, thanks to Edge. And I said, "Oh, can you take Took Miller out of your pocket from last week?" He goes, "Yeah." He goes, "I got another one to add tonight."
Amazing, amazing.
So he added another one in there. He put Butters in there, and he melted him up. And what I loved about his game as well, and it was something that would come with the confidence in his ability and come with the acceptance of the role, and it would come with continuity this year. He went forward and kicked the goal.
Yeah.
And that's what I want to see from him, because he's a dangerous player, ball in hand, mate. He is a very dangerous player, ball in hand, and that's, I want to see the coaches allow him that freedom as well, and I'm sure they do to a point. But again, like all players, lock down your first initial role, whatever the coaches ask of you, and then add different layers to the game.
Once that starts coming, that is a totally new dynamic to this team. Once he starts getting confident to go the other way and impact the other way, because he was a midfielder coming up. He's obviously gone into a defensive post once he's come to Carlton.
Yeah.
But it's not like he's not played midfield in his football career.
No. And I think what the beauty about Alex Chincotta as well is you know, when he was VFL listed at our football club, and you know how much I love going to the VFL and watching these boys develop local football and watching suburban football. He just represents, and this is what was beautiful about him coming into the team. He represents everything that you want from a Carlton footballer. He just everything you want. He's almost like a. I'm trying to think of the word. He's almost a replica of what the fan base is. Do you know what I mean? To like that passion, that love, just play with those core principles. And I just, you know, Ross was full of praise for him last week, and you know, all you can ask of a man is to perform the role. And yeah, good question by J Baggers. Was tonight our best 22? Maybe. I don't know. It's changing every week. It was nice to go in unchanged as well this week and actually just have a nice settled lineup. Just a nice.
Would you do it again
nice
next week?
Yeah. I don't think there's any. Maybe Orazio comes in. You know, do you know what I've noticed with Orazio the last 2 weeks? He's gone from, you know, from a ball in hand perspective to almost nil output to now half moments.
It's starting to come, isn't it?
Have you noticed it? His games now are starting to have half moments. He has that shot that he misses, and then that shot off the ground that would have been nearly a goal of the year. And he's just starting to get a little bit more involved. Motlop will play VFL on Sunday against Preston. So maybe he could be groomed for the spot that Orazio has held up for the first 10 to 11 weeks of the season. But it's just those little half moments that are starting to build up for him too. So, I mean, it's not me saying that he's a star or anything, or that he should just be lock, stock and barrel in the team, but they obviously see something there with him too. And, you know, nothing seems to really faze him, I don't think. He doesn't seem to be overawed by anything. And it'd be nice to see him get a goal next week against his other club.
The OG old mob.
The one thing I'll say just before I wrap up, I wrote a little thread before the North Melbourne game with regards to the way in which we're winning now and finding different ways to win. So if for those who want to have a bit of a read about it, and I'm going to write an article and do a bit of an update on Twitter with regards to a thread in the next 24 to 48 hours. I might actually do an article for sen.com.au too. So we're finding different ways to win. So you look at scores from turnover, which was an area of scores for us tonight. Then you look at scores from stoppage and the way we dominated stoppages in the last quarter and won the game with regards to scores from stoppage in that particular facet of the game. And that's what the best teams do. So the best teams have different ways to win, but they also don't go away from their core principles. And our core principles are contest and pressure. So that's the basis with which you have to win games of football at the Carlton Football Club now. That's our core value, contest and pressure. And then from there, you add layers on that. And contest and pressure can also come from your turnover game, scoring on the turnover to put pressure on opposition to score as well. So, and moving opposition defense to put them under pressure when we do start to run that turnover game. So very, very impressive. And the layers we're finding now in the third season under Voss, geez, I tell you what, mate, if we can get it all sorted and get a settled lineup in the back half of the season, my goodness. I think those three teams, Swans, us, and GWS, I think after tonight, I think those are the three teams. I think that's the yardstick of the competition for the time being. That's what I'm saying anyway.
Well, see you in 10 days, mate.
Mate, next week. You got no idea. That game, that is going to be hot.
Because you wait, you see him in the corner of your eye. They're a few weeks down the track, and now it's here. It's fucking here.
I didn't remember we were chatting on Monday. I didn't want to look just too far beyond tonight, but you can't help yourself. And I thought, geez, if we win tonight and go into next week, poor
motherfucker.
Yeah, wowee. Goodness me. What a week it's going to be next week. I can't wait. But we've got 10 days. We've got to wait.
Yeah. Boys will be rested. They'll be fresh, and and you got the bye. So bring it on.
I've got a few things saved in the works as well, potentially for tomorrow night, but I'll just hold off.
Okay.
Woof woof is all I'll say.
All right.
Well, we move.
Good stuff.
Much love, mate. Guru. Ciao.
Good. Dynamic Hypnotic with the $5 says, great win, Tez. My wife said she just knew that George Hewitt would make it hard for someone and show he can handle himself in damp conditions. Bloody oath. He was really solid tonight. Also, thank you very much to Campbell Duncan for getting a pin. Guys, if you want a pin, BA pins, they're pinned to the top of the live chat. These could be $18 by the end of the year. You never know. All right, let's move. Who's here? Wayne, Pops, it's time. Here they are.
It's time.
Good evening, Terry.
Oh, I tell you.
How's it going, mate? All right?
Oh, mate, it's going good now that you're here.
Oh, look, it's just good to see them playing for 4 quarters, and they just put their foot on the accelerator after half-time. Didn't even give them a sniff. Really. They tried, but we had their measure.
Port was so bad. They went to pull their washing clothes out of the washing machine and came out smelling worse than what they put in. Someone must have unplugged the power.
I thought we were primed for a third quarter like that, or the premiership quarter. It came in the fourth. It was just a special.
They just clearly ran over the top of them. And I still believe that Port are downhill skiers. If things don't go their way, they crack the sads.
Jason Horn took us.
Jason Horn, Francis, and Buddy Butters were a bit sooky tonight.
They were
when they were retarded and that, looking for free kicks all the time. I mean, they're good players, no doubt about that, but they're a bit sooky as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah, no.
How good were our backmen tonight? I'm calling them the knackmen because they got the knack of kicking goals.
Oh, mate, you are on one tonight. I love it.
No, look, that was just amazing the way they put it all together. Ollie and Kemp, Ollie, bloody Gov, kicking goals. Chin Cotter, my goodness gracious me.
Was that a fog in the front line? I'm not entirely sure. I don't think it was a person. I could swear it was just streamlined fog.
Well, the team's getting settled. We've had a couple of weeks now with a few of the key players back, a few more to come in. You know, Sard looked better for the run. Fogarty
absolutely.
Run. McGovern looks like he's a little bit more. Actually, to be fair, he looked sore. He had the
we saw the padding
protector. Yeah.
But that was that gut punch that bloody what's the name give him last week.
Yeah, remember he was
gut punched and only travelled about 6 inches, but he hit him pretty hard.
Mhm.
and the umpire was right behind him. And the umpire didn't see it because as soon as he went to hit him, the umpire was down picking up the ball. He didn't see it. I was spewing. He should have been.
So what
saying,
happened to
bye-bye.
Dixon? Did he
He
go
got-
off before the game, or
No, he got subbed out. Yeah,
he must have had a heart attack?
No, he was just no good. He was
yeah,
just no good.
TDK, my goodness.
He
Hasn't he taken leaps and bounds, Terry?
well, he's so capable, and the beauty of where we're at now with Tom is that we can manage him throughout a year now.
Absolutely.
Because we've got good enough backup. You know?
Mhm. And if things come to the crunch, and later on, just to give Hudson O'Keefe just to run against the lower ones towards the end of the year, just give him a run, one run, with Pitnet or something,
Yeah, have Pitto as a sub.
Just give him a chance. And it was just an overall performance. I had trouble finding the best players tonight. But I come back with Walsh, TDK, and Newman.
Yeah, for me, Walsh was OG.
Even though Newey cost us a couple of goals.
My 2 and 3 were Fog and Mitch by far. But I could swear, I don't think today was more so. I think for the wider football community, I reckon today wasn't so much about for us, it's about the win, but for everyone else, I reckon it was about, Porter running on rolling pins. I swear that just, they're running over themselves. So they had a few clashes with their own people.
They become Sin Cotter when he was playing on Horn Francis and what's his name, Butters. They were putting in a couple of short steps, looking behind them so they could find before they got to the ball. I mean, I know Butters is they're both fleet of foot, but they were still, not sure because he was right there with them.
He gets in there. Yeah, he's kind. Yeah. No, look, great stories all around. I just love seeing so many. It's just winning. Nothing beats winning. You got to lose sometimes.
Nothing beats you, Terry.
Back down to earth, but winning just, it's good, isn't it?
Well, can you imagine us doing that, what we did in the fourth quarter, in the third quarter, and then keep going in the fourth quarter? So in the third quarter, we kick 5 or 6 or 7, and then go another 5 or 6 in the last. We will destroy anybody, especially with our cover and our run past and coverage and overlap. Unbelievable.
Yeah.
When they put their mind to it, not a problem.
It's magic.
I'm looking forward to next week now.
I am too.
We've got our tickets. We're going to the MCG.
Yeah, we're 2 seats apart, apparently. Hopefully we get some good ones. We can just be like, hey, can you not part the seas? Let us
have a little switcheroo.
Yeah, no, we'll be right, mate. We'll be okay. No dramas, but it's just terrific. Good to see.
All right. I love Blue Abroad. Hi, guys. Hope Rocco and the rest of the gang are doing good.
Yeah.
Thanks for calling in, gents. Always good to hear from you.
No worries, Terry.
Time for watching the replay.
Go the Baggers.
I fucking love the fan cams with all my heart and soul. It's the best. It's the best. All right, who we got? Aiden. Here he is.
What did I say to you on Instagram?
Let's talk about it. Let's talk about halftime and what you said to me.
What did I say to you again? I can't remember. What did I say?
No. So, like, from my point of view, right, at halftime, I put a photo up every week. What are your thoughts?
Yeah.
And I'm going to be honest. Like, I read through some of the comments, and I'm like, are you guys fucking serious? Like, are you people fucking serious? Like, what are you all talking about? But obviously, everyone's entitled to their opinion.
Yes.
I just didn't think it was as dog shit as what people were writing it was. I'm like, what? How are we seeing two different things,
No, it was a good. We did good in the first half. Like we did pretty good, but like we obviously let them have a sniff. But yeah. Well, I said to you that if we tweak a little things up, because I don't know who Horn Francis' opponent was in the first half. Was it Hewitt?
Honestly, I don't know.
Because I can't.
He had 11 at
I-
halftime. He had 11 touches at halftime. First quarter
Yeah.
was quiet-ish. He had a pretty strong second. We had Chincotta playing and running around with Butters. We put some time into Houston as well. He's a really important part of what they do. Yeah.
Yeah, like I said that if we put like Elijah in there, then I think that Horn Francis's impact will not be as much because I felt like Ugur couldn't contain Horn Francis's like speed off the ball because I saw there was a passage of play where Butters got out of the stoppage, Horn Francis got out of the stoppage fairly easily. I'm like, oh no. And then they tweaked it. And then that third quarter was just I couldn't believe it. That third quarter was unreal. Now that fourth quarter was just something else. It started with the captain and then it just flowed. I can't. It was just unreal. But far out. What do you think of that? Because I'm actually shocked. Like I honestly shocked. Like I said to you that I can't watch. I'm too nervous. And then I go back. I go back on.
There was a bit of that. I'm not going to lie. Before the game, I sort of said internally, I'm like, I felt weird about the game. I went into it thinking, yeah, of course we're capable, and we are. I know that we can beat anyone on any given game. But I'll be honest, the whole Adelaide Oval thing was on my mind. I'm like, it's just every time we play there, we get beat, and it's just the way it's been. So I was buying into that. And for me, I didn't care if we won by a point and it was ugly. I didn't care. And that's probably why I got a bit frustrated at halftime because I'm like, mate, there's a half to go. We'll judge it at the end. But to see what they did, I think it probably gives the fans a bit more belief in the group, funnily enough.
Yeah, like I felt like after tonight there will be more trust because I felt like last week, like, it was a good win, but like you could tell that it wasn't really that like it was convincing, but it wasn't really that convincing at the same time. But the fact that we go into hostile territory to a place where we've been shit for 10 years and then do that, it should send a good message to top 2, top 4 opposition that we're the real deal. And doesn't get bigger than next week. But I wanted to ask you, I think Andy said before, where does this win rank in the last 2 years? Because I feel like the hype after the game, it ranks probably up besides the finals, like the Sydney in 2022, because we made top 4, 8-2. And I felt like the hype is like similar to that a little bit.
I felt like it was one of the more mature wins. Like we've won games with emotion and resilience and, patches. I really thought we were as close to a 4-quarter performance against a quality team as what we've seen for the majority of the year. I know that the scoreboard wasn't, it wasn't a high scoring game at halftime, but we were in a battle. It was an arm wrestle against another, top 8 quality side, top 4. I don't know where you rank Port. It's up there. Yeah, it's up there.
Yeah. But I said to you last week, I said, should we should we bring that brand of footy back to next week? And do you reckon the fact that we brought that into the second half, do you reckon that's starting to build onto the next few weeks, in particular the second half of the year? Because I feel like we're starting to see glimpses of that second half brand that we saw last year, but even better. Because to be honest, if we bring that heat, like that brutalness in the next few weeks, I can't see how people can contain that, to be honest with you.
So for me, what's really important is we got through the first half of the year because we all looked at the fixture. We saw it 8-4. There's a couple of losses in there that we look back on and we say, shit, the ones that got away. What we saw last year and I think we have to learn is to time our run. Naturally, as the year goes on, the buzz of finals football becoming closer to you will start kicking in. So naturally, you get a little bit more energy, a little bit more emotion. I think the crowd will react a little bit differently, knowing we're getting more to the pointy end. It all starts building, and we're a team that, we thrive off that because the energy in the crowd we're right up there, top 3 or 4 clubs when it comes to, the energy in the crowd. So for me, it was just more about how can we get through the patch, knowing we had injuries, get through as best as we can. I think we've done okay. And then we attack the second half of the year and time the run and make sure we're in form, get a bit of good luck, hopefully don't get injuries and see what happens.
for the last 8 weeks, like after next week, we've versed practically a side that's been in the top 8 and top 4. Like we versed GWS undefeated, Geelong undefeated, Sydney undefeated. And the fact that I think our record that is 4-3. If we can make that 5-3, get heading to the bye, Jesus Christ, that sets us up pretty well.
Yeah,
but
man. It's good.
I can't imagine if this was at Marvel, the hype would be. I can't imagine it. It would be unreal.
Well, we play them again at Marvel off a 5-day break again, so that'll be interesting.
Yeah. Are you going next? Are you going next week?
I was about to ask you the same thing. Mate, what do you mean? I'll die before I don't go to that game next week. I might die at the game next week, honestly. Touch wood, but like, I want. It's a war, like Essendon and Collingwood. It's a war zone. It's not pretty. There's tension. There's going to be, tension in the crowd, and I can't wait. It's the best.
I don't have any. I couldn't find any tickets. Hopefully, my dad can just somehow find one. But I went last year. And was with my mate, and he was still stressing and all that after the game. And then I really hope that last year's game really is like a big mental thing with the boys still, that look what they did last year, and hopefully we can kill them even like they did to us last year, but worse. Because I honestly feel like if we bring that heat like we did tonight next week, I reckon it'll be like a over 10 goal belting. But I'm not going to get ahead to myself. But it's
1 week at a time, mate. 1 week at a time. One quarter at a time.
Yeah.
Good stuff. Aiden, love to have you here, mate. Thanks for calling in.
That's all good. Just one more thing.
Yeah, man.
Is TDK all right?
Yeah, I saw someone write in the comments that they listened to Vossi's presser and he said everything was all good, no injuries. So looks like we're all right.
Yeah, it's good. Anyway, on to next week. Can't wait for this. I want to kill them. I want to kill them. I want to get them on the scruff of their neck and kill them next week.
Love it. Love it.
Anyway, see ya.
See you, mate. Zach.
Hey, Terry. How are you?
Long time, mate. Good to see you.
I know.
Haven't been in all
up season.
Our very eyes.
What a time. What a time to come in. Mate. Do you remember the last time? I mean, obviously, you remember the last time we played Port at the Adelaide Oval. Probably the greatest review of Law Abroad history. Pick up the fucking phone, David.
David.
Oh my God.
Time, that was the last time we played Port Adelaide Oval. You're right.
Adelaide Oval, yeah. Because Fox showed a graphic and it was like plus 36, negative 95, and then I don't want to go back that far, but mate, that was incredible. I can't believe the professionalism that we showed. Like we just kept them at bay. We kept the buffer. Was a word that I think one of the commentators used. Like we kept the buffer of about 10, 15 points, and I think we let it every change, if I remember correctly. And
I think it was a tie. I think it was a draw at quarter time. Charlie kicked the goal right there. But
Charlie kicked the goal from the square. Yeah. So we were kind of undefeated for every quarter, and that's just so professional. Like I know the last quarter we kicked 8 goals, but it wasn't really a typical Carlton game, if that makes sense. There was no 5-goal swing, where Charlie kicks 4 in 5 minutes. It was just professional. And I know it's hard to say it's hard to say you can play 4 quarters, but I think we might have. I don't want to I think.
No, I think I'm with. I'm totally with you. I'm trying to think. When did Port Adelaide have the momentum? Probably for 6-7 minutes in the first, but it was a wrestle. I reckon the last 5 to 8 minutes of the second quarter, but they didn't capitalize on the scoreboard. And then third quarter, I thought we had the momentum, but we didn't capitalize on the scoreboard. We kicked 5 behinds in a row.
Yeah.
It was a 4-quarter performance, pretty much.
Yeah. I'm happy with it. I think for Port, they kind of ebbed and flowed a bit. They were kind of getting at the back of the contest. I think Farrell was hitting a few kicks here and there, but I think the ability to make a stoppage in defensive 50 for us, and how many scores do we have from stoppages? It was 7-1, 43. That's incredible. I mean, of course you got Cripps there, and so of course that's going to happen. But look, it's massive. It's massive, and it breaks kind of a yo-yo win-loss. But we're getting a yo-yo because we're responding with a win. this is massive. This is massive. If you look at the way we're going.
What does this win do for your, like, how do you feel about the year so far now? 8-4. How does it sit
Honestly,
with you?
I think it's so different coming into the Essendon game, isn't it, compared to last year? I know that's the obvious comparison, but, last year Essendon game, we were going like this, and then we went even further. Now we're kind of cruising along, Port Adelaide, and now hopefully next week, I think it's coming. I think, we're coming with such ferocity, chests out. Oh, mate, that ground is going to be raucous. That's going to be crazy. Well, the membership's only for home, so hopefully we can secure something, but I'll try my best, honestly. That's going to be something I want to be a part of. Oh, my goodness.
Game is on Sunday. If there's anyone watching and for whatever reason you can't get to the game, you have a reserve seat and something happens, you just can't get there, and you want to make sure that Carlton supporters get your ticket or tickets, please get in touch with me and we'll give some tickets away on the team show next week. We'll do it on Friday. So I've actually had about 5 people already this week ask for tickets for next week. So that kind of tells me that it's going to be, a sellout.
Yeah, very eager.
So,
mate, perfect. Job done.
How good. Job
Have
done.
A nice night.
Good to see you.
Heart rate's good, I think. We're all good.
Absolutely.
Lovely.
Go Blues.
Go Blues. See you soon.
See you, mate. All right. Ball of truth.
It is Ella. Fucking come on, man.
You got rid of that Manchester United rubbish from the back of your studio.
Hey, man, I was happy. I was happy last weekend. Blues won. We beat Man City in the FA Cup. It was fucking awesome. But I did tell you today, man, big statement win tonight. It was coming.
Mm-hmm.
Man, honestly, this team reminds me of a slingshot. It's like we're ready. And we waited to the last quarter tonight and we just went bang. And it happens literally. You wait for it every week now when we go on these runs, man. And it's you just can't stop it. It's fucking awesome to see. Do you feel that too?
Yeah. It was brilliant. I was pretty. Oh, it was a weird week for me personally. I don't know why. I didn't feel the game. I didn't feel into it as much as what I usually do in the week to week. It was just more. I don't know what's going to happen. We'll see.
Were you nervous?
Probably. No, it was just more. I think subconsciously, if I'm honest, I was probably bracing and just preparing in case we lost.
Yeah.
Total loser headspace. Like straight up.
Yeah.
I was being a little loser. That's what I was being. But then halftime, I saw how we were attacking the game, and I thought, nah, we can win this. No issues. We can win this. And then I started getting into it, and then 3/4 time, I was pretty confident. And then I think when Cripps kicks his first and then his second, I thought, all right, we're on.
Oh, man. When Cripps got those back-to-back goals, I fucking lost it, man. I jumped off my seat. I'm like, that's it. We're going to win from there. But in saying that, how many goal scorers tonight? Like Zach, Charlie, and Harry scored 3 each. And then we had like the other defenders, Chincotta, Gov, and Kemp scoring. It was fucking awesome.
Chincotta, Gov, Kemp. Who else here? Akers,
TDK.
One.
Yeah.
Wow. It's
random goal scorers. I love it.
Yeah. Adam Saad nearly kicked goal of the year as well, off the ground.
Oh man. With the Orazio at the end of the second.
Orazio as well. No, that one, and then Adam Saad from like the center square.
Oh yeah,
he just booted it.
Set up one of the goals. That was sick, man. You know what? Like off topic. Well, it's actually still on the game. I encourage everyone to go back and watch this. Third quarter, 12 minutes and 45 seconds left in the third. Newman, before he received the ball, was already getting tackled. Had no prior opportunity. They kind of spun him around. Umpire didn't blow the whistle for a ball up. Gave the free kick against Newman. Absolute rubbish. Few minutes later, Todd Marshall, 9 minutes and 15 seconds left in the third. Go back and watch it. Todd Marshall, way worse than the Newman one, literally got spun in a tackle, dropped the ball. Nothing.
Made me sick. Made me
man.
sick.
And not even one fucking word from the commentary. They didn't mention it because it's Carlton. There's an agenda, man. I'm telling you. Since the North Melbourne game, when we got all those free kicks, which were very well deserved, and they were just easily giving us free kicks, since that game, I swear, man, it just feels like the AFL are targeting us. Even the lead up to this game, showing all these examples on Fox Footy, social media, all this stuff, showing just Carlton examples. Literally, it was just us. I don't know what was going on, man. I might be a conspiracy theorist there, but it just feels that way. I
Nah,
don't know.
you're not. You're not. There's the one that got so Newman pissed me off, but I feel like I do an okay job of not getting too into it, but they just tilt me. There's always one where it's one too many that they piss me off. The Walsh one, he's literally sandwiched. For him to have gotten rid of that ball, he would have had to have stuck his leg out and put his left knee in jeopardy because it would have been twisted. And it's like, what are you doing?
Man.
What are you umpires doing? You're going to hurt him if you just. That's the one
His
that got me
legs were
going. I
trapped.
stood up. I threw some shit around. This is why I don't do watch-alongs, because if I was doing a watch-along, I would have said something that would be like, I know what I'm like. I'm bad.
Yeah, it's rated R. Oh no, I'll feel you.
Terrible. Man. The things I said tonight when Walsh got pinned were terrible.
Man, what is he meant to do? His legs were like this. He couldn't go anywhere. Like, I don't know, man.
It's weird.
There's always going to be inconsistencies with this new rule, which they somehow brought in mid-year, but whatever.
Yeah.
Like, regardless, the win was fucking amazing. Last quarter blitz, 8 goals. Here's one for you. Stoppage goals or scores from stoppage in the last quarter. 7-1-43 Carlton, 1-2-8 Port Adelaide from stoppages.
Wow.
Crazy stuff, man. But bring on those scumbags next week. I'm fucking ready. I'm ready, man. I'm ready to. Let's go now.
I'm glad that we get them fresh. 10-day break.
Yeah.
So the boys and I don't know. Do we get some players back? I don't know what happens. I don't know if you change a winning team like that. I know that people would come on earlier and they sort of mentioned, maybe Motlop comes in and Jack Carroll's been the sub a couple of weeks now, or Fantasia. We'll see.
True.
I don't know what's going to
That's a good
happen,
point.
but the team, touch wood, we're starting to get some continuity into some of these boys.
Yeah, I'm with you, man. I reckon is this the first week that we haven't had to make a change because of the injuries?
I think we've done it one other week in the season. Every other week in the year, we've lost someone to injury. I think that's right. Someone in the chat will confirm, but yeah.
Yeah, so it's bloody awesome. I was wrapped at no changes for this game. And I don't know, like the only one that you mentioned, the Motlop for maybe Carroll, I would probably do.
Mm-hmm.
Motlop could come into that game next week and be massive. Who knows? But I wouldn't mind I wouldn't complain if there's no changes again, man.
Yeah.
Seriously. I love this team the last 2 weeks.
How good's Carlton?
Stop, man. Stop. I know it's only mid-year, but fuck, if we can beat Essendon next week, man, sets us up perfectly for the bye. We'll get players back, and then we run towards the finals. See how we go.
Can't wait, bro. I'll see you in 10 days.
Done, brother. Done. Have a good night, and up the fucking baggers.
Up the baggers. All right. Who we got? Jim. He's here.
We got it done, man. Told you.
Did. You did.
It was good.
You were the last person I spoke to before the first bounce. I was having my exchange with you.
Yeah.
So I was in a good mood.
I messaged you at 3/4 time. Might have been half time, saying we're about to have a Sydney quarter. I felt it. And then it was the last quarter. That was the Sydney quarter. Sydney 2022 was sick. Like, that's what it felt like. Everyone was up and about. I was with a lot of Blues fans. Corey Durden was sitting behind me. So it's kind of cool. But they were just good. They were good, man. Professional business trip. That's what it was. Business trip. Get it done. Take the 4 points. I thought Port were good too. Good arm wrestle for 3 quarters. Felt like a final. So
yeah,
their crowd, man, they're hostile. Like, gross.
Yeah, tell us about it. What was the atmosphere like there? I've had a couple call in that were there.
Okay. I felt like from where I was sitting, you could only to the right of me was the cheer squad. So they were up and about. Yeah, man, they were booing everything. Every time Charlie went near the ball, boos for Cripper, boos for Walsh, heaps of boos for Harry. It's kind of disgusting. But where my section was, a lot of Blues fans kind of drowned that out. It was really nice. Like you felt well, like supported in that area. So that was kind of good. But yeah, they are hostile. It's kind of like being at a Blues game when like a Gold Coast rocks up or something at Marvel. And you know how we just drown them out and you can't hear them? Like it's silent. Yeah, that. So bit annoying, but good. And last quarter was just, it was insane. It's
a bit of reward for effort for those of you who are in Adelaide. Let's be honest. You've sat through the worst losses over there.
Mate, I sat through some absolute ass pumpings at that ground. Just some disgusting games, like 19 goals straight. Disgusting. Like, yeah. But I knew we had to start well. Every time we play an Adelaide side there, for some reason, it's over at quarter time, like Gather Round last year when we played the Crows. It was just done at quarter time. You just knew we weren't going to come back and it was over. So tonight, for it to be level, I'm like, we're really on here. Same at halftime. We just slightly won that arm wrestle. Our mids were on top, weren't getting rewarded by the umps in the contest at all. And that was very frustrating. But then the third kind of opened up a little. We got that break. They kept getting that one back, but we kept responding. And that's when I'm like, nah, we're on. We're responding. We're getting that goal. That's putting the pressure back on them. And then they were fucking up when they were trying to play wide. So, yeah, perfect view of the ground tonight. You could see our structure was fantastic. Wiedering, I don't know what he looked like on telly, but, mate, at the game, that guy's bog every game.
Right.
He structures everything up, screaming at Newman, and Newman screaming at him, and just, like, control. It reminded me of going to old Hawthorn games when Hodgie was just yelling at everyone. We've got that about us now. It's very cool. Never seen that before at Carlton, man. Very good. Like, everyone's a leader back there. And then when Chicotta kicks his goal, everyone gets up. So good, man. Wicked night to be at the footy. So, can't wait to watch the replay. It's going to be awesome.
Same. Mate, it's 12:15. I ain't sleeping. I don't give a shit. I ain't not sleeping.
Enjoy it.
Yeah.
What did it look like on telly, though, man? Because it's hard from seeing. So,
it looked like an arm wrestle. It looked like I thought it was a great game of footy. Personally, like I was able to step out of my Carlton bubble for a moment and say, fuck, this is a really good game here. Like it's a tough game. Usually an arm wrestle lasts about a quarter and a half, and the game opens up. It just didn't open up at all, which I think goes to show both teams just were not willing to give in. Port looked dangerous, but we didn't let them, create too much momentum. Yep. We kept the lead, and then I'm going to have to watch the fourth quarter again because I was so into it in the fourth that I don't know if I didn't realize we kicked eight goals in the quarter until I came on the fan cams and someone said it. So I don't know. I think Cripps kicking the first two of the fourth, it's symbolic. I mean, Are we losing games when he does that in a quarter? Probably not. So
I feel like it.
Yeah. So I think this is going to be one of those wins that I'll appreciate more the more time goes on.
Yeah, this might be one for reflections in a few years because it felt that way. Super interesting. Just where I was sitting, I've never seen us look so good structurally. Port tried to play wide to fast players. I thought Horn Francis was elite. They just tried to play wide and we just strangled them. We made them kick to where we wanted. Like when we were shit in 2019 and teams did that to us, we were doing it to them. We were doing the thing. You've always mentioned that. We were doing the thing tonight. We did the thing to a good side, their home ground, in front of their fans. It was fucking sick. So, anyway, get to the room, enjoy, take care. It was good chatting to you, mate.
You too, brother. See ya, mate. All right. Mark, it's time. Let's do it.
How are you, Tez?
I'm good, mate. How you doing?
you just happen to catch me in the right time. Can you just have a look at the screen quickly?
Oh, how good, mate.
Just happily just catching up on the replay. Of course, this is where obviously Port had their chances in the second. And then obviously, as you've seen from everybody else tonight, the third, we couldn't put them away in the third, tried to, but then found another gear in the last, and whoopsie-doo. So everybody's pretty much jumped on that. But I'll just unmute that so we can speak. But I've got some other stats for you that'd be interesting for everyone. So obviously, we go undefeated at the Adelaide Oval for the first time ever in our history, not just of one game, but two.
Yeah. Yeah.
Sorry?
Yeah, go for it. Yep.
Oh, yeah, that's right. So, again, everyone, 2-0 at the Adelaide Oval for 2024. After losing 7 in a row, now we've built up a little streak. I'm requesting we play at least 3 games next year. Beat Adelaide in Adelaide. Still haven't done that yet. Want to smack those croms, those cum bastards. Get the power again. And then, of course, if it happens to be a West Side and gather round next year, I don't know. Could be already planning ahead. Why not? Improve our interstate record. It's 3-1 interstate record for the year. But here's another little fact. So we doubled that tally as far as the Adelaide Oval, but now we're going to triple that stat. What's Voss's record against Ken?
3-0.
Exactly. And don't worry, it's going to be 4-0 in another 7-8 weeks' time. Ken's bitch is Vossi, and that's why he knows them inside and out, head to toe. You know it. And of course, if you then double that number, 3 being 6, how many games have we obviously won when TDK's rucked alone? Pretty simple answer.
6.
There you go, mate. Talk about 6, baby. Oh, it's all of us. It's all of us. God, imagine it was a Friday night. I'd already be out and about, ripping up Sky City like I was at Gather Round at the time. But look, man, I think of all of our good wins that we've had throughout the years. I mean, look, oh, gee. It's going to be a toss-up now between that opening round with Brisbane when we were down by a good 8 goals to then obviously break that hoodoo. But, I mean, we knew throughout the years that the Adelaide Oval has been like, you know, Fox River, the St. Quentin prison where we just struggled there. Oh, actually, that reminds me. That actually reminds me, Tez. I can't believe I haven't dished this out one yet. Sorry, dished this stat yet. Did you know this was also the first time we actually scored the ton at the Adelaide Oval?
Really?
That's a wow factor, my friend. That's a wow. Like that guy from Australia's Got Talent. He was like, "What? Am I right? Say what? Oh, hell yeah, man. Oh, yeah, bruh. Bruh, my man. Like, I mean, let's all face the facts, all right? Sydney was by far a one-off of how bad we were that night.
Yep.
Have a look at the last 2 weeks. 102 to 73, 107 to 71. Sard comes back in. That defense obviously is very stable. Everyone's obviously said that. I just thought I'd add my little piece to it, but it does make sense because the bloke can obviously dash. Closing speed to obviously kill off a ball to then create a boundary throw in stoppage in order for us to obviously set up around the ground. And we just look very stable when obviously he's there. Just shows because the bloke's rarely missed games at Carlton, barring, of course, these last 5 weeks till he came back last week. And here he is again. So, mate, now by the way, I've got so many to mention here. A couple of shout outs to some good friends of mine from Adelaide, Jonathan Rossi and James Brown. They're Port Adelaide boys. Boys, I love yous, but at the same time, this is business. We had to take yous down. And as far as Essendon next week, Alex Mariteo and all you Essendon supporters, enjoy your time being arguably the worst second position team on the ladder in the history of this century. I mean, it's amazing how they're even second right now, but I can't wait to put them back into reality. Oh, and then they'll be going gravity. That's for sure. That is for sure.
There's something you said a couple of years ago, which I think ring true for the Bombers next week as to what we're looking for next week. 5 words came from you. I don't remember exactly which game you said it, but it was on the fan cams, probably 2020, maybe 2021. You said we were looking for blood. And I think that rings true with what we need next week.
I find it fascinating that now, look, I don't want to all of a sudden start pointing out to our fans that, oh, now they're stealing my line, I'm stealing their line. All I'm going to say is this, right? Everybody is starting to understand now what it means to be a Carlton supporter, right?
I've noticed people use the words. I've noticed people use the phrase ruthless aggression this year more than ever. And I will back you in. You came here and you were screaming it back then.
Terry, we're hearing kill, murder, blood. I mean, look, we were very, very young when the underbelly was a big thing back in the day. I mean, you're our Dark Prince. You're our king. You're our Alphonse Gagliatano. I'm the Mark Moran with my other brothers. And then the Williamses. Well, speaking of Williams, there goes Zach. He's now kicking goals. So do we call him Craig Zach Williams because he's just snagging through the big sticks? I mean, look, obviously I'm not saying we have to be criminals for God's sakes, but use this as a metaphorical, psychological sense to say to yourself that we're not going to stand for shit. And when you use that to your advantage, that's how you put the psyche into the rest of the competition. I mean, could I just say, was Patrick Cripps' 2 goals in that last quarter the best 2 goals you would ever see from a captain when to stand and deliver? Yeah. Now, please, before you get to your point, Terry, the amount of people that just ooze into Zach Merritt being the All-Australian captain. Well, good luck against the Gold Coast on Sunday because you're going to need it because they're a different beast over there with the mercury being at, 100,000 degrees hot with that sun, right? But then come King's birthday eve, right? I just can't wait until those so-called wannabe posh supporters. And mind you, I'm telling you right now, Terry, and this is just for my life here. A lot of the supporters want me dead, but that's okay because I'm backed up by 100,000 plus members, including you yourself. You've created this empire, right? For everyone to speak their mind of what they feel and to just feel free to just be open-minded, right? Mate, this ain't predetermined script, mate. This is unscripted. We come in, what we want to say, what we want to talk about, and most importantly, just be ourselves, man. This is who we are. This is who we are. So, Port, not only you're gone, but Essendon. Until we choke that head of theirs, I just can't wait when they go from 2nd to pretty much 10th. And if I and look, I know we're talking a big game, but again, if I hear some of their supporters, when we give them the beating that they deserve, when we do, I don't want to hear any bullshit about, oh, this player didn't play or that player didn't play. Let me tell you something, right? The last time they won a final, I already had grown my first set of pubes, for God's sakes, right? Those guys have not gone through puberty, for God's sakes. That's how long it's been for them. And I've got news for you. Add 20 plus another 20, right? I mean, there's every chance, mate, we'll have our own families by the time they get past the second week of the finals. So, I mean, call that cocky. Yep, fine. But why not?
Mark.
Let's see what they've got.
It's a pleasure to have you. I look forward to seeing you next week, my friend. Take care. Go Blues.
No worries. Bring on next week, and we'll go from there. Go Blues.
Jono, hello, mate.
Hey, mate. Tez, how you going, mate?
Good, mate. You good?
Yeah, good. I just wanted to say today, and I know it's been a while since we've spoken, but it was just amazing tonight in regards to the non-stars in the first half took the game on in the first half, and our stars took it on in the second half, and that's what was the biggest thing to me, because it hasn't happened for years and years, and that's what. And I was telling my partner as well, like the second half, I go, Cripps and Walsh have not done anything in the first half. And that's good because we're still in front. And in the second half, that's when they just took the game over. I don't know what your thoughts are on that, but
I think that's a good point. That's what made it such a well-rounded performance because Cripps just needed to lift. It's like he timed his run, in games gone past. If Cripps is playing like that in the first half, we're probably down 4 goals at halftime because we're just not generating enough in the midfield. But it's a good point. Others stepped up. Charlie, a lot of talk about him not starting games well and, waiting to the third quarter to kick his goals. He started well, kicked a couple in the first, got going. And I don't think there was a single passenger tonight.
No. And I think shout out, and I was talking about Cowan the whole game because he just gives his all. Like he just goes at the ball, and he's got that license now that he just goes at it and he attacks the footy, and that's what I love with him because I think Voss has given him that license off halfback now that Zach Williams is playing forward. I think Cowan's got that license to just go at the footy, and I love that. And he did that last week as well. I was at the game last week, and he was doing that last week, and I think that was brilliant. That was brilliant. And I mean, for next week, like I won't be able to be there. Obviously, I'll be away next weekend, which is killing me at the moment.
Where are you going?
Yeah. No, I'm not going. I won't be able to go next week, but it's probably a good thing because I'll probably kill a lot of Essendon supporters next week. But I think no changes again. I think just keep that same team because I think we've got McGovern and Sard back in. He's definitely shored that back line up, and now we've got a bit of consistency there. And Kemp, who's been much maligned, I think he's been very, very good. And what was the other thing I was going to say is, McGovern was good, but when he gets isolated one-on-one, that's when it's not good. That's when it's not good. And when he was getting off the ball and he was getting free, that's when we were actually getting some run off the back line tonight. And I think that's what needs to happen next week as well. So big Ben versus Harry next week. I think it's actually finally going to happen after
Inshallah. Hopefully.
Yeah. So and they actually had each other as brothers as well. So we'll see what happens there. So
bit of a rivalry.
Yeah, it'll be interesting.
Very good, mate. I'm excited. I'm pumped again. I mean, I was always pumped, but this has given me it's given us a bit of a spark now. Win a couple in a row. Big game next week. Then we got the bye. Get Chera back. Get Martin back. Get Motlop back.
I think Cottrell's. Yeah, he's big for us. I think he's the big one. Martin, I think we can sort of cover because he's obviously, as we know, he plays 4 good games for the year. But I think we can sort of cover him. But I think Cottrell and Chera big. If they can come back in, I think we can be pretty close to full strength, I think.
Yeah, amazing. All right, mate. Good to chat with you.
Thanks, mate. Thanks for having me on.
See ya. All right. Let's do Joe.
Terry, remember what I said to you last fan cams? When you said to me, when you said that we could dare to dream?
I did, and you did.
Dream became a reality, mate. Look at
Dream
that.
came true, bro.
Oh, mate, that was that was something, wasn't it? Yeah, I don't know. I kind of had a good feeling all game. Obviously, I was nervous before the game, which is fair enough. I mean, it's Port Adelaide Oval, but I don't know. I think we started really well. I think we were right on top of them, or if not, playing at the same pace as they were. And I just thought we were in the contest the whole time. I just thought we were really pushing them. And mate, some individual performances. I mean, Sard, his little tap-ons to our midfielders and some of our backliners. Newman was breaking tackles all over the ground, man. He was just so crucial. Williams, again, maybe we should keep him in the forward line, mate. He's been playing great.
Mate, he's kicked. I think always he's kicked the most for the small forwards, but I think Williams is now our second highest goal kicker for the year for a small forward. Brilliant.
Yeah, that's crazy, man.
You know what? It's so interesting now that I think of it because, and I'm not saying he is a this type of player, but we haven't had like a half forward type player, a ground level player who could play in the midfield and hit the scoreboard like that. I mean, Collingwood have got like De Goey before he became more of a midfielder. I think the best example is a Dusty type, a guy that is dangerous, a guy that can have spurts in the midfield. And that's where I think Zach can still get to. He isn't even playing midfield minutes yet, but he looks dangerous. He always looks like he has a good read on where the ball is going to drop.
Yeah, he just looks more lively in the forward line. I mean, obviously he was doing really good for us in the back line, but I just think he moves a lot more freely in the forward line. And oh, dude, I mean, a lot of people are mentioning it, but Chincotta, oh my god, he's just a star, man. And I remember before the Essendon game last year, we were showing like training clips of him, and I remember seeing him, and I'm like, bro, like he looks good. And ever since that first goal he scored for his career, I just knew he was going to be something special, and I've loved him ever since, man. He's been my favorite player for quite a while, and yeah, wow. I mean, what a performance, man. I mean, I'm shocked still. I'm still shocked, like most of us are, but. Yeah, no, it was a good win, man. Crazy win. Obviously puts us in good stead for the Bombers. So I think, look, I don't want to speak too soon, right? Because I want to stay, humble. But I think we're about to give Essendon a reality check.
Wow.
I think we're about to put them in their place. Honestly, I mean, if we play like that at Adelaide Oval, imagine what we play like at the MCG, bro. Seriously,
That's true.
It's
exciting, mate.
Yeah, it is. It's very exciting. Well, I'll let you go because you got more people to get through, but thanks for having me on.
Thanks, Joe. Take care, mate.
All right, you too.
See ya. Tolls.
Hey, how was that win?
Mate, it was bloody fantastic.
I think that has to be the first game I've seen in a long time where everything just worked. Like it always felt like there was, some malices in the back line, on the midline, the forwards not doing too well. Even before that fourth quarter, it felt like just everything was going smoothly. It was all working. And it's been a long time since we've seen that.
Mate, it was a quality game of footy. I know that it might have been a bit frustrating in the first half for some, but we're playing against a really
absolutely going off on the watch along.
Was he
not having a good time?
Yeah, I mean, listen, we're playing against a quality opponent who are away, and they play well at their home ground. They know the dimensions of their home ground so well. Port gave us a bath last time we were there at Adelaide Oval, and you got to grind that type of game out when you play interstate against these good teams on their home deck. Brisbane, Sydney, Port, Adelaide, like they're good on their home deck. They know how to play their deck well. So we had to just get through that. And then once we did, we opened it up, and then we opened them up, and then we turned off the power.
How many big holidays are we having like away games are we having for the rest of the year? We're not seeing Sydney again till finals, probably.
We have.
Are we playing West Coast in West Coast?
We have West Coast in Perth. We have GWS away. And I think that is it.
Yeah. So, I mean, we've got a big run against, Harley's Eagles. That should be good. They're, rising. GWS they'll be raring for a rematch. I think we've got them though. I think we've absolutely got them on the rematch.
As Pommy says, they're Mickey Mouse, mate.
Exactly. But I think this is the start. I think so. These three games, Gold Coast, who did we just play? Fucking Port, yeah, and Essendon. It's been a long night.
Amazing.
It's been a long night.
Amazing.
A bit forgettable, to be fair.
To be honest, I'm still in shock that it happened, so I don't blame
you. Gold Coast was just getting back on our feet. Like I said it, I think I said it last year. I was last year I was not paying attention to the footy. It was crap. I saw it. I think I was at my niece's first birthday party, and they just had it up on the TV, and we were like, it was the Gold Coast game. The start of our run last year. I thought, oh, yep. Gold Coast is the AFL's therapist. If your team isn't working, take a trip to the Gold Coast. Beautiful, beautiful sunshine. Your team will get everything, working smoothly again. Just, a good game against Gold Coast always does wonders.
Mm-hmm.
Then that was getting us back on our feet after the drubbing from Sydney. This game was showing it wasn't a fluke. And we showed it wasn't a fluke. Absolutely, with that fourth quarter. That fourth quarter, we did to Port what Sydney did to us in the third quarter. And then the Bombers is showing we're back. If we beat the Bombers, we are back. Absolutely.
I can't wait.
They were saying before, everyone was talking about before the Sydney game. Yeah, we're top 4 contenders. After the Sydney game, she's like, no, Carlton's missing the finals. It's done. They're done, But honestly, I've already I made the mistake of going on Twitter after this game and just saying Port fans are already, spitting the dummy over, Charlie Dixon, get him out. Ken Hinkley, get him out. He's done. But I can't wait until we're just the team that people say it was tough, but they're a better side. Whatever. I'm so sick of teams going like, we've lost to fucking Carlton. What? Like, when are we going to get the respect on our name? It'll come.
That'll come.
It'll come.
Mate, I look forward to seeing you. You'll be at the game in 10 days?
I'm at every game. Every game at the G. I work there, remember?
True. Yes. I do remember. So wait, are you working next game, or
I'm working next game.
All right. Where can we find you?
I'd love to take the time off, but I get the best seats in the house for the last 15 minutes when I work at the game. I perch up in the cheer squad. It's great.
That's good. Well, thanks for calling in, mate. Appreciate it.
See you later.
See ya. All right, we got 3 more. We got Yusuf, we got Lucinda, and then we got Toby. Yusuf, hello, mate.
Hey, Terry, can you hear me?
Yeah, brother. How are you?
Really good, mate. That was an unreal win, eh?
That was exactly what we needed.
Yeah. It was so good, like 6-goal win. Like I never expected it to be like that convincing, Like I was hoping for even a 1-point win. I'd just be like, just get the job done, But I didn't think it'd be a percentage booster, playing them over there. But no, it's massive. I mean, you look back on the first half of the season now. I mean, one more round to go till the bye, but to be 8-4 with the fixtures that we've had over the past 6-7 weeks, and then look at how favourable the run is after the bye, second half of the year. I think we've set ourselves up really well. So yeah, really pleased. And yeah, what would you say about the first half of the year, as well as this game?
What would I say about the first half of the year? I think we're going okay. I think we've endured a big challenge with testing the list with some of the injuries that we've had. I actually think we've done a pretty good job of getting through that. We've beaten top 4 sides. We've beaten top 8 sides. When we've lost, it's been close, apart from the Sydney game. So I think we're going okay. And I think we are timing our run pretty well so far. I think we're nowhere near our best. I think tonight was probably the best I've seen us look over 4 quarters, but still so much more to clean up. And I think naturally when you get the team back, the best team that you can, field and settled, it's only going to get better. And then the finals vibes will start kicking in. And hopefully we're still winning and put ourselves in a position to, hopefully make the top 4. But I don't want to look too far ahead. It's just chip away.
Well said. The thing is, you don't want to be peaking now. You want to be peaking at the end of the year when when you're getting closer to like hopefully finals, like that's when you want to be playing your best footy. You don't want to, use up your best footy early on in the season. But now just on tonight, really good. What I'm loving, with Sard, everyone's been talking about him and he's been so good. You can tell he's not 100% because he's not like running and taking the game on and taking multiple bounces, and he's not kicking long. Like his meters going are quite low. Like last couple of weeks, he's just going for that short kicks, but he's only like exerting energy when he needs to. Like there was one moment when the ball was almost out the back and he really full sprinted. I think it was maybe McEntee or Georgiades who was alone inside 50. So he only like uses his energy and his speed when he needs to, but he's just like managing himself until he's back to 100%. But the thing is, Sard at 50% is better than most defenders at 100%. So no, he's unbelievable. I think he's just made a massive difference.
He's so poised. He's so composed. Said it. He doesn't fumble. He doesn't fumble at ground level, and that's so important in defense because you make mistakes in defense, and you can get. I mean, it seems like when we make mistakes in defense, we always get punished with a goal, and that's why it's so important. And just there's something about having him and McGovern back there that in the last few weeks since they've both come back into the team, it's just so different. And McGovern was also. He wasn't great tonight, but he was sore. But still, like when they're not at 100%, I like what you said there. They still, even those guys at 60, 70% are still quality players.
Yeah, exactly. And the thing is, our backline is so tall with Wiedering, McGovern, Kemp. Even Newman isn't short. Like sometimes when the ball hits the ground level, like even when you saw Lewis Young earlier in the year, like the guys above 200 centimeters, when the ball hits the deck, we're going to look a bit vulnerable. But that's when Sard and Boyd and these guys, that's when they're just so clean at ground level to help escape pressure. And I thought, in our forward 50, that's the best we've looked when the ball hits the deck probably all year. Like Williams always Fogarty. When the ball hits the deck, we've always been complaining, where are the crummers, at the feet of the forwards when they half the contest. But like, Williams, I didn't know Williams was this crafty and smart around goals. Like he's got forward craft. Like I just never thought that would be Williams. I thought he'd be a guy that's like, good ball user, provides that dash, but he looks like a natural forward and like he's just chipping in. Like the last couple of weeks, he's kicked 7 goals and against good opposition. So yeah, I think for next week, almost got unchanged. Maybe Motlop comes in, but we'll see how he goes in the VFL. And I think we're ready to take on Essendon, and I think there'll be a big game. I'm looking forward to it because I don't like them at all, but they're in good form, and I think it will be like one of the games of the year. Honestly, I think it'll be very, very good.
I'm so excited, man! I'm so excited. I'm so excited it's here because, everyone has their certain teams that they like to watch and play against, and for me, Essendon and Collingwood are the two. Bring it on.
Yeah, bring it on. Anyways, it was a good chatting to you, Terry, and hopefully, inshallah, we get the win next week.
Inshallah, absolutely, bro. Have a good night.
Have a good night. Go Blues.
Go Blues. Lucinda.
Hello.
We had a little bit of an issue, but we weren't sure if there was a camera, then there was, and then there wasn't, and we're here now.
St. Anthony helped me. So what happened was I got through about 15 minutes of going, why am I not seeing myself? Not connected. I'm like, BS, I've filmed myself through this thing.
Oh, no, that's okay. That's all good.
But anyway, I disconnected it, reconnected it. The tower turned off, but Chrome didn't shut down properly, so I made it back. So that's the main thing.
Good. All good. Let's talk about the football. How'd you
good.
find? What did you make of the game? What did you watch tonight, and what did you see?
Well, for a start, I was very happy to see that my praying that the rain would either come early, i.e. in the week, and not be there at all, turned out. Mainly to prevent, injuries to both sides. I mean, I know it's controversial. I don't want Port people to get hurt or anyone on any side. I believe we need to defeat the absolute best, including the scary guys, because that's who we're going to play on grand final day. All right. Spoiler, we're probably going to be there. So you can't really say, oh, so-and-so is out, you beauty, because they're not going to be not selected when it's the scary dance. All right. So I actually was reading my thesis, like essay on Pommy's preview, and I'm like, oh my god, 1, it's so long, and 2, I'm like, ticking off what actually came forward, and I'm like, oh, this is great. So I've actually taken a few screen grabs that I might quote at some point, but in terms of predictions, I think I said if it was a fair fight, it would be 20-40. And then essentially 17 if weather was involved, and if the you-know-who's did their usual bull, 6-12. So we were like 16 above the minimum, 4 off the max. And the reason why I say that, and it's fitting that it was 4 points off my highest margin, is because we're now 4th on the ladder, aren't we? At least until tomorrow.
For now.
Well, you never know. It could stay that way. I mean, I haven't done the maths yet. So the general gist of my preview without looking at my phone was we need to keep it close every single quarter. I kind of had the guys having to kick, accurately like they had from kind of, Melbourne, Collingwood onwards. Like Sydney kind of got us in that it looked like they had researched the fact that our behinds tally was getting lower and lower and that they had to spoil. So I mean, I still haven't, looked at that match. So I don't know how, I only got the AFL at rush behind stuff. So I'm like, were they tackled as they kicked and whatever? Or, was it like whatever? Because the rush behind thing, I'm not really skilled with. So
you were watching through the app?
Yeah, because I wasn't well that day.
Okay. Yes.
Yeah. So essentially, I don't see footage until the 4th, just in time to think whether F is TDK. Oh shit, because Harry was in the ruck. I'm like, oh god, help. And so obviously that was cleared up. But no, my point is we go to opening round with about 8 behinds, and then we don't get into the last 2 to 4 weeks where we have a similar behind tally. So it just almost feels like Swans were like, okay, they're a good kick. We have to F up their certain goals here. And then Swans did what they did. And now, fortunately, with this week, we were good enough to not let that come into play. But I haven't checked our totals, but I think they were lower than the 14s, 15s, whatever's we were getting. But judging by the Lucinda of a day ago, I was saying we need to basically keep it, almost within a few kicks, hopefully in our favor, quarter 1, 2, and 3, then run away with it. Or, scores level, or hopefully 2 or 3 goals minimum ahead at any given time. Now, the fact that that's 18 points and we had a few 19s in there is kind of cool. But the general gist of, just be in it, even if you're trailing for 3 quarters, and then just knowing that they can be comeback kings. I mean, obviously we did it the more favorable ahead version, but it just was interesting to me that it kind of was, before it was, kick for kick for a while, around that 18-point range. So I'm like, all right, so now I need to do an essay every week just in case. So it's just it's really cool how that worked out. So judging by percentage, I think Pies are only just ahead of us, but I don't buy into that. I don't think we're going to have a 2022 situation, because I think we're just going to have enough points to qualify anyway. But yeah, even as I was exiting Marvel last week, I'm like, oh well, that's Port beat. We'll probably beat them by about the same, if not just over, and here we are. So you were nervous all week. You were nervous all week, and I'm like, that's all right. I'll manifest for you.
You did well. What about for next week? How are you feeling going into the Essendon game?
Well, I just think we don't really let the Suns match play in. If they get a win, we compare margins and go from there, is my favorite thing to do. But I just think, irrespective of if they lose and they're pissed off, or they win and they're happy, I think we do them by 40-50 regardless. I don't think it's about the whole Peter Wright revenge sort of situation where he kicked 5 and we just weren't having a good night or whatever, and he's just come back from God knows how long acting like he was never hurt. Yes, okay, they might, vaguely remember the whole booing shit, but I don't really think they need the fuel for fire. What they've done in 2024 is enough. Also, the, energy depleted Tigers only missed beating them because of their last, 3 to 4 behinds. I mean, you could argue that Essendon won by 2 goals, but then you could look at their behind tally, and they've got 12 from the 14. So it's kind of like if you look at the last few minutes, you have 2 plays I don't remember, and Dusty, they, obviously miss. I think there's a rushed in there somewhere, and then there's 1 goal each. And then you've got the 12. So the overall point is you have Richmond, who really should be replaced in the rest of the year, and we just play everyone another third time just to be, nice to their players and actually the health of the players. And then you have us, not with our recent record, but the whole year. I don't think we've got anything to worry about. Now, if they go on a fluke, well, we can prove.
Wait.
Slowing down.
Catch me up. Yep. Slow down for a minute.
Okay. So.
Sorry, it's late.
No. I caught wind of my brain is ahead of my mouth. Well, okay. Well, I'm thinking
Essendon next week. Do you think we can win? How do we win next week?
Comfortably 50-60. If umpiring is a load of closer, but still comfortably. I don't think that they will have anything to worry about based on recent form, even if the Suns get smashed by more than we beat them and whatever. I think it's side versus side, because Carlton has proved 2 weeks in a row that the umpires don't get away with jack anything.
Right.
But worst case scenario, we've come from behind in consecutive years from 40 down. So why are we worried anyway? But I still think 1 point would be a big. Sorry, I don't really care if that's the worst case scenario.
No, fair. Lucinda, look forward to it. We'll see you in 10 days.
Well, I'll see you way before that on content.
Actually,
but
no, we'll see you tomorrow, probably in the chat somewhere.
Yeah. But in terms of fan cams, yes. Well, I'm not sure if you're even allowed to show Herald Sun posters, because I've just noticed that that's on my bed.
Oh no, it's fine. It's all good.
Okay, well,
Thanks
in that
for
case, yeah, you wouldn't get copyright if I showed you, would you?
No, show me. What have you got?
Okay. I did a photo shoot with this after the Geelong loss, mind you. Oh, here we go. Try and get here. Whoop, this way.
Oh wow, that's cool.
Yeah, see, I don't do the Suns, the Herald Sun, that is, but my uncle saved it for me. So obviously they've done it for every side in the league, right? But because these people are on the back.
Ew.
But at least it's not Collingwood or Essendon behind us. But anyway, so win or lose, I always play with this for a while. And so, it's been working out to get the best case scenario. So we should be fine, I think. Cool. But no, we win regardless. And even if it has to be a cliffhanger, I just see that being umpire involvement rather than ability.
Fair. Well, we'll see what happens. Thanks for calling in.
See ya.
See ya. Toby.
Cheers, how are you, mate?
So good, mate. I'm so good. How are you?
Mate, I'm freaking up and about. Mate.
I bet you are, mate.
We beat Port Adelaide in Adelaide. Thank you very much, Carlton Football Club. Oh my God. After the game, Tez, I was like, what the heck did we just... Are we all pinching ourselves tonight? Because it feels like... It feels like we've just seen a game where we've just gone, whoa, what the heck have we just done? Are we really saying that, all right, we can play footy? And when we look good, holy crud. And how, Terry, I was going to say this to you last week when I was away in Adelaide, but I forgot. But I really like Zach Williams sneaking up forward. What has he just gone? Oh, okay, I'm going to go for a walk from the back line. No one will notice, and I'll just go sneaky up forward. And if somebody's not on me, I'll just go, wee! Oh, there's a goal. Oh, my name's Zach Williams. I'll kick a goal for Carlton. You little beauty.
It was pretty good, mate. I mean, last week was great. Sorry. Yeah. When did he kick 4? Last week.
Yeah,
Yeah, and I sort of thought, okay, that's one good performance. Now that he's done it a couple of weeks, now you start thinking, oh, was this like an accidental thing that we've found? Because we've trusted Boyd, we've trusted Chincotta in the side, we got Kemp back there, we're not dropping these guys anymore, Cowan as well, and that's allowed Zach to not have to worry about, defensive responsibilities as much and just focus on his offensive game. And the thing is, he's going to get better at it the more he plays.
Oh, absolutely. Like, if we find people in the right positions, stick with it.
Yeah.
Just keep going with it, because it just looks like our side is not saying we can't make those changes, but if we need to, it looks better for us in the long term, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like, it just looks like we're playing with every part of the ground when we get it right, or every position on the ground when we get it right. It looks really good. Like, really good. And tonight, we showed Port that. Like, they couldn't stick with us for a bit. And it was a great game of footy. I agree, Tez. Like, they score a goal, we bounce back. It was just beautiful to watch. It was fast-paced footy.
Yeah. Fast-paced, it was tough, it was contested, we scored off turnover, we punished them when we needed to. And, mate, lots to be excited about. You're back in the couch, back in the usual spot. Everything seems to be moving along. How do you feel about the Bombers next week?
Mate, I reckon we can beat them. I seriously reckon we can. As everybody said, Tez, they are scum, mate. They are scum. Mate, I agree with everybody who's come on tonight and said, Essendon, you're next. Where are you? Where are you? Because you can't say that after tonight's performance, we've got Carlton next week, we'll show them up. Nah, we're coming for you, Essendon. And be scared. Because if we are loud as proud Carlton supporters, and we hear that, and the boys hear that, I think that's going to motivate them to help them get over the line. So, I'll be watching from home, but I'll be barking as loud as buggery. Because I hate Essendon. I hate him.
Me too. We've got to bring that out, bring that energy out, and get amongst it. So I'm excited. Toby, it's good to talk to you. Thanks for calling in, as always, and speak to you soon.
No problems, Matt. Up the baggers. See you, Tez.
See ya. All right. Lucky last. Jad, it's time.
Shit, it's late.
It's late. It is late. It's 1 a.m.
I just got home. I couldn't believe you were still going. So I was like, okay, I'm dropping on.
Yeah, bro. Where were you?
Fuck, mate. After the game, I was at Sporting Globe. Then after the game, went to this lounge, just chilled a bit. I was just reveling in it on Twitter. Just like to scroll through after a win like that and just like baking it. Oh,
I haven't seen any of it, so that'll be. Is it great?
Mate, it's just delirium. It's Carl. We're just taking it over. I love it when we take over Twitter. It's just fucking. Oh, mate. It's like a juicy bonus after the game.
I haven't seen any of it. Like,
oh, fuck. And you know what else? There's a bit of free kick, Carlton.
Bullshit. Free kick, Carlton.
Yeah,
mate.
Swear to God.
Against us, man. What is it with these opposition supporters not respecting us, man?
Yeah, well, mate, I was with two of them today watching that game, and I swear to you, it's like a sickness. Every time we get a free kick, it's bullshit. Like, fucking, what's wrong with these people? Like, we're not allowed to get a free kick.
I actually think Charlie tonight he got one, and finally he got one. They haven't been paying that for the last couple of months on him. The one where they put their arms around his waist, and they haven't been paying it. They paid one tonight against Alir, I think it was. It grinds my gears, man.
Yeah, boy, what really pissed me off was the fucking media build up in the week, like using Charlie getting tackled as a reason to pay that new interpretation, and they fucking went for him, mate. I was fucking so pissed off early. Fuck me. Like, well, the less said about it, the better. It's just fucking garbage. I'm just sick of it. Every time we get a free kick, it's wrong. Like, fuck off. Honestly, just get fucked. If any of you watching this, fuck off.
We lose, we choke. Collingwood lose. Umpires like get stuffed. Anyway, what about tonight, mate? What about tonight? What about the Blues, mate?
I just came on to bask in it with you. I've got nothing really insightful to say. I've got nothing, mate. I just want to bask in it with you. I just want to talk to you.
Honestly, it's just I can't believe they did that. Like, I knew they were capable of winning. I wasn't confident they were going to win, but the way in which they did that, it just reinforces. Like, I've believed in them, and I've been like, I don't know, like it just makes sense. You get your better players back in, you get a couple of games into them. Your defense looks a lot better than it has all year. Mate, like we're composed, we're poised, we're sharp. We can play a high line. We get caught out the back a couple of times, but that's our game. We're a forward half team. That's what we want to be. We don't want to be a Fremantle. We want to push the territory game up the field. And I just think we're going okay. You know, there's a bit of panic in the last few weeks, which I understand. I really do. I get it. We're emotional. We're sensitive. We're passionate. I just think we need to be careful not to like break things in those times, which I don't think we did. And mate, look at him go. Look at where we've come from and look at where we're going.
Mate, like, look, I'm a victim of that. Oh, I'm a culprit of that, actually. Like, I do have trouble accepting our identity because I like more of a turnover game. But I think I've just got to accept, like, we are what we are, and if we can master what Voss wants, we're going to be a fucking good team. And there is a real chance for a flag. So, I'm talking to myself. I'm just going to get on board with it because sometimes I do get really frustrated with the contest shit. Anyway, Terry, like I feel like we've been waiting for that win for fucking years.
Yeah.
Like, that's why years we've been waiting for something like that on the road in that stadium. Oh fucking hell! The skipper. That first 5 minutes of that fourth quarter. Are you shitting me, Cripper? What the fuck, man? I love it when he does this. I love it when he does this. I love it when he lets people get into this lull where they start thinking, oh, maybe Cripps is a bit overrated. Maybe he's not. Bull fuck, that's what he can do. Look at that. That's a skipper's fucking game, bro.
He's growing, isn't he? He's growing as a leader. He's getting better at it. He picks his spots.
I've noticed his field kicking has improved the last few weeks. I've noticed he's been hitting little 45s. And then those 2 goals, like, what can you say, mate? What can you say? If Harry doesn't get All-Australian this year, I'm going to riot. I'll do it myself. I'll spend some time in prison. I don't give a fuck. Like, I'm so sick of the disrespect. Shut up. Oh, I'm cramping.
Oh, gosh.
I don't give a shit, mate. Like, seriously, I'm so sick of the disrespect some of the players on our list get. The way, like, you know, when Port kept getting a goal back, they kept getting one back. I've seen that game a million times, and I've seen that team run over us. And I was really scared, man. I was really scared when they kept getting that goal back. I'm like, oh, for fuck's sake, this is just going to break morale, and they're going to run away with it. But mate, I think, is that just maturity? Like, they just responded, and there's like this quiet confidence in them. where I think they know they can get the job done, and
Bro,
that's like
they
there's a
believe.
little
They
belief they've never had before.
Absolutely, they believe. That's why, honestly, it's why I'm so calm these days, because they believe. They have full belief in themselves. They don't doubt themselves. We're going to mess it up. They're still teething. There's still maturity issues. We haven't, we're not clinical yet. We're just not there. But they've got belief in themselves. I see it so clearly. I've never seen it from a Carlton team before. I guess before last year when they started doing it. But it's the missing ingredient. You got to believe as a collective, and they have it. And when we believe, I think when like the entire club, and I mean everyone, like joins in on that, that's the competitive advantage. That's what
Forget
I
about it,
believe
right?
we're moving towards.
Fucking forget about it.
It's not about
Oh.
sunshines and rainbows and everything. It's not about that. It's like, wake up. This is the team, and this is the window, and it's going to be the next couple of years, and this is who it's going to be. We might add a few pieces end of the year, like whatever, but like this is the window, and this is the tilt. We've been building for how long now? For this moment, this period of time in history, this is it.
Yeah, blink and you'll miss it, huh? You gotta just revel in everything now, because I'm not gonna sit here and sit through this window and being nitpicky and being all like, oh, it's about the grand final. Like, I'm not. Who knows what's gonna happen after this, mate? We just went through 7 years of fucking hell. No one's taking this away from me, on us. Can I just touch on Zach Williams?
Yeah.
So last week, I was like, obviously it was a great game, and I can like acknowledge it. But a little part of me thought, okay, was this just like a little cameo where they're just sending him forward to get some confidence, maybe just give him another look because they don't know what to do with him. Does he really want that position? But then today, when he fucking kicked those goals, and I saw that celebration, that one where I think it was his fourth or third, can't remember how many he kicked, but I think it was the last goal, and he's just screaming up with his, looking at the sky screaming. Like, I looked at him and I thought, oh my God, he actually wants this fucking position. It's not just a little cameo or, we don't know what to do with him. He wants this spot. And that's like kind of turned me on it now. Like, I feel like he really wants to grasp this position. He really wants to grasp it. He wants to impact. And I'm happy because at times he can look a bit like what's that word, lackadaisical? Bit carefree, but I fucking saw that fire. He wants this spot.
He wants
fucking good on him. Good on him. That's fucking a lot of pressure to deal with. So,
well, we've never seen him happy. Let's be honest. We haven't seen him express himself and be happy on the field because he's been injured, has been frustrating. He hasn't lived up to the hype when we got him the contract and all that criticism that we were all, I know I was certainly giving as well. And he's gone through that. He's dealt with it. He's, let's be honest, had one of the worst years of his life last year with what happened with his body, his family, the deaths.
Yeah.
And it's like a rebirth for him this year.
Yes.
And
I'm just so happy that he seems to have bought into this role change.
Yeah.
Like, he fucking wants it, bro. This isn't just like I spend a couple of weeks there then go back to the back line. Nah, like this is it for you, Zach. You make this yours, and he fucking wants it. And I'm so fucking happy to see that, man. I'm so happy to see that.
Yeah, man.
Yeah. Well,
hey,
mate.
How fit do we look?
If you want to, start this.
Why not?
We're gonna go all night, mate.
Just saying, we look fit tonight. We ran out the game well for a 5-day break.
Okay, Terry, we look very fit. Wow. I don't want to get into it. Don't wreck my mood. I want to watch the replay in peace without you.
Just saying, we ran out the game really well on a 5-day break. It's almost like we managed the load well.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
It's
Have your little ribbon.
No, it's mental though, isn't it? I believe a lot of that conversation is mental with the group because Gold Coast, the way that they dismantled Geelong, that was off a 5-day break a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think I just looked at us. I did not expect us to run that game out like that.
I just think we look settled. As
Mm.
you texted me, I think that's that consistency with the same players and with the guys that we know are going to be in these positions long term. I reckon it helps because that back line, mate, they looked so fucking calm.
It's
My
like
goodness me.
Just click. They're all there. That's them.
Yep. Everyone knows their roles. Get it done. Walsh is better than Rosie. Everyone can kiss my ass. Don't give a shit.
Oh, mate, we've got to invest more time into Lockie Cowan. He can't be dropped. He's worth it.
Yeah, I love his fucking tenacity, mate. He's tenacious.
Yeah.
He's not scared. He's not scared. Like, that was me. I'd be shitting my pants, but he doesn't give a shit.
No, he's not. He's not overawed at all. So.
And TDK though. TDK.
Mashallah.
Pito, you're gonna have to do something special, mate, to fucking take that off him, because this kid, I just think we look a lot better with him being the sole ruck, man.
Yeah, man.
We look a lot better. Anyway, look, let's just revel in it. So happy, so fucking happy.
It's gonna be a great week. You going next? You going next week?
Well, I'm trying to get my day switched at work, so for that game, yeah. So it's our home, yeah. So
it's
our home game.
You sure? No, I don't think it is. Hang on,
Pretty sure it is. Yeah.
It is? Okay. It is. Round 13. You are it's an Essendon home game.
Ah, shit. Shit.
Wow, there's so many of you that need tickets. All right, again, those who are watching, if you are going to not go and you have a reserve seat, let's make sure we get those seats filled with Carlton people. So hit me up. Some away.
It's probably going to be level 3 nosebleeds, man. Fuck. We'll see. We'll see.
Well, when Essendon supporters leave at 3/4 time, we can all flock to level 1.
Mate, I'm actually so confident. I think they're fucking piss weak compared to us. Look, they got good ball movement, okay, but I think when we bring the sum of our parts compared to theirs, I reckon they're flimsy as fuck. Sorry for swearing so much, but
that's all right. Is this when we bring in a pedo to bully them? Like we bring in a pedo, or do you just think nah?
Well, who do they have? They got Draper. Who's the other? Oh, the old bloke, Goldstein. The only thing I worry with them, bro, is their pace.
Yes.
Their pace of ball movement. I don't know, does Pito help? We'll see, mate. We'll see.
We've got 10 days. So, anyway.
All right, go to bed.
Yalla. Tusbah ala khair. Yeah.
See you, bro.
Wow. There's your fan cams for round 12. What a thing. This is crazy cool, this thing. Hey, Josh Bassist, thank you for buying your pin. Bruno, thank you for buying your pin. Guys, don't forget, get your pin before next week so you can wear it to the Essendon game. Thanks to everyone that is still here. There's 418 of you. It's 1:15 in the morning. What are we doing? It's amazing. It's the Carlton thing. It is. It's the Carlton thing. We are something else. It's great. It's always enjoyable. Thanks to everybody that came on tonight. Hope you enjoyed yourselves. I really don't have much else to say. I'm exhausted. See you tomorrow morning. I'll be up with the sun. Get the review out. Make sure you check that out. The ratings, I don't know when we'll do the ratings. I was thinking potentially Saturday morning, maybe Sunday. We'll see. But that'll all come out and we'll go from there. If you have tuned in from the start of this show and you are still watching 2 hours and 48 minutes and 35 seconds later, I don't know what to say. You're a star. All right. Yeah, got the fresh fade today. Kept it a little longer on top. I don't know if I'm going to grow it back again, but we'll see. We'll see. We'll get there. Go Blues, guys.